Oh, yep, found it.
Right.
Dawson, should I just
Tucker's
email this
birthday
to you
today.
or what?
And welcome back to Truth Hurts. I'm Jake Duesenberg. We expose corrupt politicians and lying corporate media here. As always, joining me are the political junkies. And back in Minnesota from Idaho, a long journey, is Megan Jesse.
Yep.
How you doing, buddy?
You know, I'm happy to be here. There's a lot to talk about. I mean, we got to expose Ron DeSantis and the complete fraud that he is. So, well, I'll do it alone if I have to.
Fake
That
news.
sounds like you are.
Totally fake news. Taking the side of DeSantis is Mr. Straight Lace himself. William Beck, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Jake, and I was telling you guys this morning that I wasn't necessarily 100% in the DeSantis corner, but just Jesse being Jesse's really pushing me that way. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens today.
Well, I have no idea where this show's going to go when it comes to that, but we're going to talk about something really important. Who's behind this PriDEMONth shirt? I'm sure you guys seen this graphic. Also, reading your comments, let us know where you're watching from, and if you have any comments or Rumble rants, if you want us to change the subject, you can pay whatever and do a Rumble rant. I don't even know how it works. I should know how it works. $10 or something like that?
We'll have to ask them.
We'll have to ask them. There you go. Bridget Williams.
But it's Tucker's birthday today, so first off, happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday,
32.
Tucker.
Yep,
Long-time
happy birthday.
listener, right?
Mm-hmm.
Long-time listener. What have we been doing this
Yeah.
for, like 5 months now? 6
Pretty long
months.
time.
It's been... Wow, yeah. It's already June 1st. Happy Pride Month, by the way. Did you
don't
guys
say
know
that.
Pride's one of the 7 deadly sins? Did you guys know that? Interesting,
Yeah.
interesting
Yep.
term they use for that month.
I just saw a thing from TPUSA, Pride comes before the fall, and it has like the graphic of all the money they're losing at Target. I was like, love it.
That's
great.
good. That's really
It was pretty good, actually.
Running the dials, as always, is Deep State Dawson. Look at that guy. No shirt, just muscles popping out. Eating? Are you eating?
Yeah.
What the heck?
I have to get 30 grams of protein in before
Did you
the
bring
show
enough
ends.
for the whole class?
Yeah, did you bring it up? I don't even know what he's eating. I don't know if I want it for the
It's
whole
probably
Friday.
wrong.
I
Oh
made
my
chili.
gosh.
I made very spicy chili, and I'm so good.
Oh, I'm sure it is. All right, let's pull up the article. William, you wrote about this. This was a little interesting nugget we came across. Have you guys seen this shirt yet? It's basically, it says Pride Month, and I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 rows, and eventually it just highlights the demon in the middle. Because if you know,
It's in the show notes, Dawson.
Oh yeah, there you
I
go.
didn't publish it yet because reasons.
Oh yeah, because I haven't even. So you guys have
Right,
seen
yeah.
this, right? Some conservative, as they put in the Yahoo story we were reading earlier, QAnon person took claim for this thing, but
LGBTQ
Well, no,
and
that's-
on.
that's actually pretty dang good. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a left-wing talking point to say that she's a QAnon.
I
We
know,
were talking
I
about
know.
we were
That's
talking
why I
about
said Yahoo News said it, right?
Yeah, it was like some LGBT publication. Yahoo just stole it.
Oh, did they? Of course.
Yeah, that's what Yahoo News does. They just reprint stories.
There you go. We originate stories here. This is written by William. So, William, tell us what you learned about Pride Month here.
Well, the left is wholeheartedly embracing demonic imagery. We have 2 examples up there. Scroll down a little bit, Dawson. So Lauren Witzke, she's like a conservative activist. She was a Republican nominee for Senate in one of the New England states, I think in 2020.
And this is the Q person that, according to
The quote-unquote,
the
yeah,
quote-unquote Q,
the conspiracy theorist.
So we have to place her in
QAnon.
this box now, and
Right.
she believes the election was stolen. We can't believe that. And
Right,
okay, all the other grand conspiracies.
right.
By the way, a lot of the conspiracies we had on COVID were actually very correct. Huh?
Mm-hmm. We're always right,
Yep.
aren't we, Jake? So she tweeted out this image a couple days back in preparation of Pride Month, of course. As you can see, Pride Month becoming associated with the demonic imagery there. And, of course, the left just pounces on this. And they're like, you know what? Heck yeah. We're all on board with this. We love Satan. And this sounds like a boomer Republican talking point, but no, literally, you go to the replies and like all these lefties are wholeheartedly embracing it. Scroll down a little bit.
She
here.
writes in the tweet, "Demons can seethe. Christians are done taking crap from the LGBTQ mafia." By the way, even the left can't get the acronym right.
Yeah.
Because I was reading an article and it was I can't remember what it was about, but they were quoting both what's her name, Erin May Quaid, who says she's in the queer caucus. I mean, a lesbian's not a queer person. That's such a weird thing. They're all queer. All of a
Well, what
sudden?
is a queer person?
A queer person's like a flamboyantly gay man.
I don't think so.
Well, that's what that's what it's supposed to mean.
Well,
Like you're acting like, and you're like doing it on a straight person, like you're being queer. Now they all want to say it. Lesbians were never called queer people.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's like-
queer is just like it's whatever you want it to be in the LGBT community.
Yes, exactly. They love playing with words and definitions. In case you didn't know, and we're gonna get into that when you learn about this pronoun that I've never seen before. So this conservative activist writes that we're done taking crap from the LGBTQ mafia. Oh, I forgot my story. Aaron McQuaid says LGBTQ, and then they have Lee Finke in the article, and Lee Finke goes LGBTQ2 S. What's the S? I didn't even heard that one.
Well,
Two-spirit.
Oh, the two. Okay, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the plus is everything else. That's
Yep.
So what's the IA?
Indigenous.
Intersex.
Oh, intersex.
Intersex.
Oh,
Okay.
and A is asexual.
And A doesn't belong there
Yep.
because there's no one standing up for asexual people. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go on. Sorry, I had to cut into there because this is a conservative, and I think a lot of people believe the conservatives behind it, and it turns out that's not the case here, right?
Right.
Yeah, and asexual means that they don't have sex. So that don't you think that asexual should be against drag queens because they'd be like, why are they sexualizing everything? I hate sex. Asexuals, they should be opposed to the entire agenda. Think about it.
He has a point. A good one.
We gotta clip that. it's just a clip of Jesse going, "We hate sex." Yeah, because no one's
So true.
asexual. Just means you don't have a group. Like,
Yeah.
you don't. And I guess that
They
means
would
you don't have
hate
a
drag
drive,
queens. Yeah, they would
Brad
hate it.
Ganser wants to know if your pronouns are fee, fi, fo, fum.
I know, right? No, mine are he, him. I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding.
And,
I don't know why William looked at me so awkward when I said that. All right.
Jake always does this. I just look at him.
I
He's
know.
like, why are you
He's
looking
got-
at
But
me
he's got
so
look.
weird?
You see it, right? Now that you're
Well,
over here,
I don't
Bridget?
know because I feel like you used to do that to me when I was
Yeah,
over
no,
there.
he kind of has that like pondering look where it's like, what is William thinking? Like, is it just like there's something else that's coming,
It does. You really? Okay, I'm glad you backed me up because Bridget threw me
Well,
under the bus there.
plus, like, there's a camera in front of me. I can't usually see William.
That's true. We never
So-
like. I'm looking right
yeah.
at a
You
camera.
can't-
when I'm
Jesse
looking at
and
Bridget.
William are behind cameras.
Mhm.
So I'm like, hey.
Wow, it's too bad you can't see Minnesota's blonde Matt Walsh over there. We're going to talk about Twitter and Matt Walsh today because it's an interesting story, and we got live updates. So let's continue on with the story,
Yes.
William.
So, a Twitter user who goes by the handle Art Brivea, I think, took credit for this tweet. What's so funny?
I don't know.
We're off to a great start with the
Pride
show
Month
today.
just makes me laugh. All right, so go on.
Took credit for this tweet. I don't know what pronouns to use
No, let's use
because
them.
I'm not going to say. So the pronouns that this individual wants us to use is Faye/Fayer.
Yes, and we were reading the article. Did you link to this article in the story, the Yahoo article?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I wanted you to pull that up. I have to read this to you guys. How am I going to look this up? Pride.
It's like the first thing when you Google it. Pride Demon, I think, is.
I've
we can pull up.
got to read this thing here. A trans artist. Oh, this is from them.us. This is what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, you can get our story at actionforliberty.com. So go to actionforliberty.com.
I haven't published it yet.
This is the where is this Faya who uses fair pronouns. I just have to. Okay, I'm going to put this in the show notes real quick, Dawson, because I want the audience to go on this wild journey ride with us. Cell F17. Okay, pull that up, and we're down. This is them. It must be a magazine called Them. It looks like it's paragraph 5. Okay. Yep. You see it says Faya, who uses fair pronouns. Okay. Those are not my pronouns, Brad Ganser. Posted on Sunday to confirm that Faye had actually originated the graphic. That was already hard to say. Get ready for this one. We were having a good laugh when we were in the show preparation. Self-describing on Twitter as a queer trans artist, Faye tweeted a post of Fairs from April in which Faye initially shared the graphic. What kind of loony world are we living
my
in?
gosh.
Faye even posted a meme of Fair own to show. I can't even read this. I cannot read it because
Literally
I'm
sounds like
looking
a
at a
2-year-old
word.
who can't quite speak yet.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
point.
It does.
That's what it is.
So stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like my 6-year-old, like uses V's a lot. Sign up. Here, put William's email in there.
Yeah.
Faye even posted a meme of Fair owned to show that it was actually the right wing stealing Fair meme rather than the other way around. It's so, you guys at home, try reading this thing. And William, we'll add this to the story. So actionforliberty.com, you can read about, we'll add this actual crazy paragraph. It's so difficult because you're looking at this word. Wait, what? Look at the paragraph below this. There are even variations for gender fae and gender fawn, which are different flavors of gender fluidity according to the gender fandom wiki. Oh my God. We need to be...
Actually did not make it that far down the article, to be honest.
We need to be looking at this website daily. This is just full of gems here. Although I'm kind of scared when I get these pop-up graphics. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. You never know what's going to come.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to see a bulge or something like that being tucked in a Target swimsuit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is so let's talk about Faye
Let's talk about
and talk about Fair's
Fair's
graphic.
Yeah. Well, obviously they saw as an
You're
opportunity.
so bigoted. You need to be off Twitter now. You can't even do the pronoun. What is wrong with you, William?
Well, speaking
Jeez.
of pronouns on Twitter,
We'll
we'll
get to
talk
that.
about that
Yeah,
later.
we'll get to it. So tell
as
us
you can
what
see-
Faye said.
Well, Faye's like, look, this is my stuff. I love that this person took it, and now they're trying to capitalize on it. So you can see there.
Wait,
they're
who's
selling-
the they here?
This whole thing sucks.
sucks. It's so
I hate it.
terrible.
I hate it so much. I'm not, because I don't want to give in and use the pronouns that they want.
Yeah.
I mean, Faye's just they.
And in this time, they
Jeez.
as a plural, right? all the people, right?
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
not
Mhm.
they as in. Okay.
True. True.
All right,
We're just
we'll
tripping over
continue on.
ourselves
We are
here
tripping
with
over
the pronouns.
I literally read that article, that paragraph. I couldn't believe what I was reading. It's
Yeah.
like this is so crazy.
Yep. And as you can see, there are like a bunch of different variations. They're on sale, so who knows? Maybe they're not that popular.
Yeah, but hold on. If I want to buy one of the shirts, because it actually kind of looks like a cool shirt, I could see myself wearing it. I assume most people take it the way conservative audiences would take it.
In fact, you can scroll down there.
Tell
There's
me,
a sizing
in the
guide
size
there.
guide, what size shirt would I have?
Yeah, so so they do have a size guide. They don't have a size guide for Fae/Fair individuals.
You're saying there's only men and women
There's
on
only-
this transgender?
It's very bigoted. if
That's
you
so
ask me.
bigoted. What about us non-binary? Why do they not have a By the way, there are unisex shirts, so it's kind of funny they don't even just go with the unisex.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny they use Redbubble for, or how Redbubble's not woke on this stuff.
I just realized, is the trans community against unisex shirts? Because there's no such thing as unisex to them. It's a bunch of different sexes.
Yes,
so
but
they're
at the
against
same
unisex?
time, doesn't it feel like they all want us to just be these chubby blobs of people that you can't have no definition
With purple hair?
Yeah.
with purple hair? Like if that feels like the direction we're going, because you can't tell anymore with these people.
I don't think they want that. I think they want to be that person, so we have to look at them and think that they're cool. Because if everyone was doing it, then they'd probably start looking straight like you, like I meant to say
Straight-laced,
straight
like
laced,
me.
but straight works in this
I
context.
do
too.
look pretty straight.
There you go. You do have kind of a tight shirt showing off those arms, but then
Well.
again, when you look in this room here, we got Dawson over there without even a shirt on. Look at that. Look at those pipes. Jeez. All right, Deep State Dawson. I keep cutting you off here. It's just so entertaining to read this article. It's so crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot here for sure. And then I dive into the Satan respects pronouns bit.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if we actually read this, but I included the explanation for the inspiration behind the Satan respects pronouns. So the author, or rather the artist, Eric Carnell, he's the guy who designed the Target clothing line. He says that Satan loves you and respects who you are. You're important and valuable in this world and deserve to treat yourself with love and respect. LGBT plus people are so often referred to as being a product of Satan or going against God's will. So fine, we'll hang with Satan instead. I actually pasted the picture in the wrong.
I mean, just think
area
about
here.
the level of craziness in that statement, right?
Right.
Like, first of all, Satan doesn't love you. Satan pretty much hates you. He loves to hate all believers. It's not like you're going to go to hell. Well, first of all, if you believe in heaven and hell, which you have to believe God exists if you believe in Satan, right? So you believe in good and evil. What does it say about you if you pick the evil side?
Well, and again, I rushed this job here. I finished this up like maybe 15 minutes before we started the show here. So I pasted the picture in the wrong. The quote continues in the next paragraph there if you want to scroll down. Satanists don't actually believe in Satan. He is merely used as a symbol of passion, pride, and liberty. He means to you what you need him to mean. So for me, Satan is hope, compassion, equality, and
Okay,
love.
I gotta stop
So
you there.
crazy.
So this is what they wrote. This is a quote.
Yes, this is a quote from that Instagram
Oh,
post.
you didn't start the quote in that paragraph. Just a little grammatical note there, William. Just make a note of that. No beginning quote.
Yeah,
Well, he said he pasted the thing
I
in the wrong
just
spot.
explained
I
this,
just give-
Jake.
Oh, I was like, wow.
I'm just giving shit.
Okay.
We have a little bit of editorialism here and checks and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Again, we rushed the article. That's why you won't find it yet on actionforliberty.com.
what are you doing there?
Das. He did the inspect element on Chrome. The thing
I
you
know,
did-
but it only fixes on yours.
Yeah.
It doesn't fix
well,
it
for the
there.
purposes
Yeah.
of what we're
Okay.
doing here, yeah.
There you go. We got it fixed. I didn't even know how to do that. Deep State Dawson. Look at the skills this guy has.
We have a quote. Not a quote.
Cool.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Not
What
a
is that?
quote, a
Let's do a
comment,
Tucker
sorry.
quote on Satan. Let
No.
me finish up this point real quick and then we'll get to
Okay.
that quote. Do you notice how bigoted they are? They refer to Satan as a he.
Ooh.
Oh,
There you go. I think Satan's more of a fae, but go ahead. Let's see. Let's hear what quote Tucker has.
It's not Tucker. It's Patriot Carla Nelson, actually.
Oh my God!
Yeah, she's
Where have
that.
you been, Carla Nelson, the patriot, not the senator?
So she
'Cause
says
I think Carla Nelson has been like absent for
Yeah, she
a
has.
while. We really missed you.
she was probably in Florida or something.
She probably gave up in Minnesota, and no one's blaming her.
Anyway, she says, "Did you all catch the We Are Legion shirt? That was what they Demon Man. I think. Oh, the Demon Man possessed. Sorry, let me start again. That was what the demon-possessed man said his name was before Jesus cast him into the herd of pigs. I appreciate now they are claiming it as evil.
Yeah,
It's crazy. So if you go back to the art,
didn't
that
see
one
that
in the
though.
corner there, We Are Legion.
great point, Carla
Oh
Nelson.
yeah.
The
Like they're
patriot.
openly embracing satanic
It's just, like,
satanic
opening out
imagery.
there, yeah.
It's crazy.
But you're saying, at least according to them, it's that we don't actually believe in Satan. He's just merely used as a symbol of passion, pride, and liberty. And so I guess that makes more sense to me because we were chatting about that before we were doing the show. Is like they have, if they believe in Satanism, right? So you're worshiping Satan, which means you believe in God, and you chose one. It was that Louis C.K. bit I was playing. Like, he's like, I don't believe in God, but boy, us that don't believe in God, whoa, I hope we're right about this one. Because if we're wrong, that's a bad one to be wrong about, right? Funny story, right? Funny little bit. It's like they actually believe. I don't know how many people that really are this way. I think it's just like it sounds cool and rebellious. I think that's what it is.
Well, I think
but do you
it's-
really believe there are people that are like, yeah, I really believe in Satan?
I think it's a
some
smaller
people
number
do.
of people
Yeah.
than these people who just want to worship themselves.
Right, yeah, it's
a
mainly
secular
ironic.
religion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if they don't actually believe in Satan, which would be really bad, meaning that they chose
Oh, it still is
evil
bad.
over good. No, yeah, and I'm getting there. Then the only other conclusion, and I think it's embedded in this paragraph, is yes, this is an anti-Christian movement, right? They are literally mocking Christians by saying, I believe in Satan, or using satanic images.
Right.
So I must ask this question again, and I know you're going to back me up on this, Maga Jesse. Where the hell's the manifesto of the Tennessee shooter?
Oh yeah.
Where is that manifesto? Was that what was about? Was it an anti-Christian? Like, we still don't have that manifesto. And how big of a problem is this? I don't think it's a massive problem, but it is really interesting. And it's certainly when they're going to our kids. And then we've read Lee Finke, who's a man, by the way, Chris Finke. When we read his book, Facebook, on air, bits and pieces of it, it's directed towards Christian teens, Christian youth.
Yep. And, this isn't, I don't know if you guys have heard about this story at all. I just was reminded of it as we were talking about this. But do you guys remember Sam Brinton? He was the guy who
Yes,
was dressing
the
up as a
nuclear guy.
chick. He was wearing makeup. He has a mustache. He was working for the Biden administration.
Love stealing luggage.
Stealing luggage, running the nuclear, department and
Let's
whatnot.
pull up a picture of Sam Brinton. So
Yeah,
while
go
we're
ahead and pull
talking
that
about
up
Sam Brinton, we
because
can get a good-
there's some new information out there that Sam Brinton was involved in a chapter called "The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence," known for blasphemy of Christianity. And what this was a group that dressed like nuns and sexual crazy stuff to go to different games. And what is crazy? Let me find what I was looking. Okay, and this Sam Brinton, his name as a part of this group was Sister radioactive. Okay, so no wonder that he's involved in the nuclear energy, but
Yeah.
I believe the pronoun was or is was.
yeah, was. But yeah, then obviously, and this was going against like Catholic groups, and it was going to like Dodgers baseball games and all kinds of things like that. I barely know about it. I just had heard about it, but there's a new connection that's being made to it, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Comments.
Monica Huron says, reminds me of the old SNL skit with Pat. Nobody knew whether it was a he or a she. That's how ridiculous this is. Although it was funny on SNL back then, not now, not so much.
Such a great bit. Pat and Pat's significant other, Chris, which was played by Dana Carvey. You couldn't understand what Chris is, and the whole point of that show or that sketch that they did many different. It was what do they call it? Repeating sketch or a whatever they call those, reoccurring sketch. Is that there's always somebody trying to learn the gender of Pat, and before it came out, there was a nice off-ramp for Pat, like, hey, you should use the bathroom. Go ahead and use the bathroom of your choice. And Pat goes, I don't really need to go anymore. It's like, dang it, I almost learned,
Yeah. And Al Franken used to act gay on SNL, so
Yeah.
Lots of things have changed.
Oh, yeah. We've covered that quite a bit of the change of our culture real quick. Anything else I'm missing on this trans activist who's posting this demonic stuff? Go to actionforliberty.com. Well, you know what? I'll just...
it's still not published there.
I'm going to publish it right now because it's a great article. Probably the best article I've read. Wonderful article.
The best, maybe ever. A lot of people tell me.
William
It
does
could be
great
the best
work.
article.
He does great work. And then if you're Trump, 2 years later, you go, that William, I never liked him. Talentless William. He read the wrong poll numbers of Fox News. Total fake news guy. You got to admit, Trump does that a lot.
Yeah, if you read fake polls, that's what he's going to do. So, that's what happens when you're working for the enemy, working for Fox News.
You know what? I am curious. Who's Trump liked the whole entire time? Like, since he's entered politics, who is Trump stuck by 100% of the time? Because everyone I can think of has such a short shelf life with him.
I don't think that's fair. I think there's certainly people.
Melania.
Don Jr.
Melania, well, thank God, his fourth wife, he finally did stick
It's
with
his
it.
third wife.
Third wife, sorry. I always make this. I always believe that, like, if you're on your third marriage, you just don't really. You're really not good at marriage. That's my opinion. Like,
Or he just likes younger women. That's really what it is.
well, yeah, that was very honest of you to admit that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Bad Hat Harry
that's
just
what
said
it
the
is.
greatest trick the devil pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist, and that's 100% so true.
Great
Yeah.
point.
Very
Great-
true.
That's what the
great
devil
point.
wants.
Yep.
Forget he exists.
Yep.
Very anti-Christian movement. The fact that you're mocking, because that's what it is, right? Let's just be honest. It's mocking Christians. We are really Satanists. We're not. We admit it. Because I kind of believe that, don't you? I don't think they're actually practicing Satanists. Satanists are crazy people.
There are those people, but I don't
Well,
think
Dawson,
that's the majority
didn't you
of them.
date someone that was a Satanist? Just kidding. I didn't want to put you on the spot. Oh, you are. You don't mind being
Look,
put
it
on the
might be
spot
true.
there. It was one date though, wasn't it?
I
He's got
learned from
chili
my
in the mouth.
mistakes, and I won't date a Satanist again. What'd you say?
I was wondering if you had chili in your mouth. It looked like I caught you with food.
Dawson, we need to get you to date a good Christian girl. I think that'd be awesome.
Well, I'm throwing him under the bus here. It was one date. He
That
probably
was
didn't
an
know
accident.
about it.
That was an
I
accident.
can't tell if you're being serious or not, or if this is actually true.
No, he was saying this, that he went on a date with a girl that
Yeah.
her house looked like it was a witch's lair.
A Satanist who
Yeah.
is also a witch.
Well, I mean,
She had feathers, so
I think the overlap. Wait, she had what?
feathers like in her house as decorations, not like she had feathers on her body.
You mean like dream catchers or something?
No, like you walk through a doorway and you look up behind you at the top of the doorway, and there was like a crown of feathers type deal going on, and she's like,
I love how you walked in anyway. Like, you saw all this, you knew all this stuff, and you went in the house anyway.
How do you not though?
yeah.
I would
I wouldn't.
run. That is creepy.
Not stuff to dabble in, I think.
Like, she probably would have blood sacrificed Dawson if he weren't.
Did you
I
you
don't
guys
know.
probably never watched Everybody Loves Raymond, one of the best sitcoms ever.
I didn't.
A
Only
little
got
bit.
better.
Yeah, not in a
Only-
long time.
Only got better the longer it went. They ended on season 9, and it was like the best season. So that's a rarity alone. And Robert's dating this woman, and she's a very attractive woman. Has already met the parents. Everyone loves her. She seems great. But then he goes back to her place, and they're going to get intimate. And she goes, just wait in the bedroom. She's washing up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got, like, frog everything, including, like, 10 aquariums with frogs in it and, like, a frog pillow. And he's like, oh, my God, I am in a crazy person's house. So he has to escape out of the window. So that's like Dawson there.
Tucker says, so Dawson dated a crazy cat lady.
It wasn't even a crazy cat. Like, she had a black cat, but
we know that.
Yeah.
She had to have a cat.
She was crazy in the way that was like, I think that these crystals help me feel better if they're on my shelf. And I'm really, okay, who cares? Like, cool rocks, I guess, but...
Yeah, healing crystals are interesting. It's just interesting that people think that, you can apply different stones to help with, to replace medicine. I don't know anything about it, but it's interesting.
False idols. That's all I'll say.
What's
It's just medication.
false idols?
They
Yeah,
think it's
fair.
medication, not, but yeah, I don't know.
It's just creepy to give power to stuff like that, in my opinion.
Well, speaking of false idols, let's talk about the U.S. Congress and debt ceiling. Now, to start out this segment, we have got to do... Yes, thank you.
I wanted to say
Appreciate
it. Good transition.
I know, but you ruin the transition when you acknowledge it. Just get used to it
That
now.
was you this time.
Just get used to it, William. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I can take the bait. I can just... Before we get to the segment on the U.S. debt, and we're going to talk about how you're a congressperson. Did you see that? I was very gender non-specific on that one. You're a gender fae, or Congress fae. How your Congress fae voted. Crazy world. Before we get to that, we've got to watch this bit by George Carlin here.
Operates in any society, they try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs.
So, here's the deal. Like, we take the bait, right? We're talking about this trans issue. We're talking about these things. It seems almost as if they're doing this to just divide us, but how do you not get into this cultural debate when they're really going after our children, right? And they really are changing. Well, I mean, as we mentioned, it's a threat towards Christianity. It's a threat to a lot of the traditions. So how do you not take the bait? Okay, so fair point, George Carlin. Boy, he was very wise, and that must have been like 3 decades ago when he did that bit, right?
Yeah, he was way ahead of his time, and that's the thing. I would have loved to see what he'd be like nowadays and how people would have reacted to him, because of course there'd be the cancel culture coming after him, but for what? For saying the truth? I think George Carlin was able to like mix intelligence and humor that you don't see very often in like top level comedians.
Yeah, and funny's funny, so he would succeed.
I mean, as long as we're talking about this bit, do you really think it's just about the money, or do you think there's something else?
Well, I mean,
at
it's
hand
power,
here?
and power and money kind of go hand in hand, certainly in our culture. Well, our culture, every culture, basically, right? Whether it's money personally or resources, because money is resources, or it's
Right.
the ability to buy resources or store certain resources. That's what actually money was supposed to be backed by resources. It's really not, but it still buys resources, right? And so you can't have power if you don't have money in this country. At least the power, the corrupting power that we're talking about here in this area. There is such a thing as power that exists outside of money, but that's usually good power. We want people to have power, like power in your community, right? You don't have to be the wealthiest person in the community, but you have the respect and people listen to you, which would be power, right? But in the case of this, we're talking about political power. That's nefarious. It's evil. It's ugly, right? So yes, I think those two things go hand in hand. I think that's what it's about, and that's what this debt ceiling is. Who benefits the most from adding another $4 trillion to debt to America? It's not us. It's definitely not the middle class. It's not actually the people that get hurt the most are the elderly and the poor, because they're the most. Because in order to continue doing this endless debt that we are doing with the federal government, you've got to print money, which increases price inflation in goods and services, and the two people that are hurt the most are the ones that are at the lowest part of the economic ladder, and the elderly who are on fixed income, right? So they're the ones hurt the most by it. So let's look at how Minnesota delegation voted on this thing. And I'm just going to say right now, they're all guilty here because you're going to see Michelle Fischbach voted against it, but she must have voted for it in the Rules Committee to allow it to happen.
Yep.
So did Thomas Massey, by the way.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And it was just Ralph Norman and Chip Roy to vote against it in committee along with the Democrats.
Oh, those were the only two Republicans? So all the rest were Democrats?
Yep, and they just needed one more Republican to flip, so it could have been Fischbach, it could have been Massey, and they both caved.
There you go. So pull up the Washington Post article here. 314 votes in favor, 117 votes against the debt ceiling increase, and 4 people did not vote. And that includes, the 4 that didn't vote includes Angie Craig. Not that I'm going to give Angie Craig a pass or anything, but apparently she was doing lawn surgery.
Yard work.
I almost said lawn surgery.
Yeah.
Actually, right now it kind of seems like that with the dryness of Minnesota. She was doing yard work and she apparently broke her ankle. So anyhow,
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
voting for the debt ceiling increase and the majority whip, so basically doing the bidding for Kevin McCarthy in the swamp and the establishment, was Tom Emmer, Republican, 6th Congressional District. By the way, 6th Congressional District, it's a Republican district. You know, you can vote your conscience. Tom Emmer's conscience is, yeah, $4 trillion of debt, that's a good thing. We know his talking points. He would never say something stupid like that, but that's what he believes. He doesn't think there's a problem. Because if you thought there was a problem, you would actually try solving that problem, wouldn't you, Tom? You've been there for a while. How much has government grown since Tom Emmer's been a congressman? Betty McCollum, CD4, Ilhan Omar in CD5 in the Socialist Republic of Minneapolis, Dean Phillips, CD3, Pete Stauber, CD8. And then the 2 opposing, Brad Finstead, the freshman legislator down in CD1. Is Finstead in the Rules Committee too? I think he is.
I don't think so.
I mean, that would seem crazy, but I thought Finstead...
I was looking at the Rules Committee. I'm 90% sure he's not on it.
Okay. I wonder if Finstead then voted to, what do they call it? Is it suspend the rule? I'm having drawn a blank here. Whatever the pre-vote is before you actually vote on the bill. He must have voted for that. And then Fischbach, as we mentioned. Fischbach will now probably go tell her district, I voted against the debt ceiling. She didn't. She didn't. She just did a cover vote because they didn't need her vote. What she did, and this is what they do. They get these cover votes. Oh, Michelle, vote the way your district wants you because Michelle's in a very solidly Republican district, CD7, all Western Minnesota. But you know what? The devil's in the details. On the Rules Committee, she could have killed this terrible, terrible deal for America, and she didn't. She voted to pass out of the Rules Committee. But she'll say it. I'm guarantee it. If you guys are in Fischbach's district, that's what she's going to say. I voted against it, and here's why. It'd be like, you're a bullshit artist, Michelle Fischbach. You voted out Rules Committee. And then they make up some excuse. Well, don't you think
This is the best deal that we could get.
Yeah,
this is the best deal that we could get.
Well, she's not going to say that because then she
Yeah.
would have voted for it. She's going to say something like, yeah, well, I needed to allow everyone to get a chance to vote for it. It's like, bullshit. You could have stopped it right there.
Yeah.
You guys are just all bought and paid for by leadership. So that is how just scroll to the top real quick on this article, Dawson. And what's really fascinating about it, this is the big deal that Kevin McCarthy, the Republican Speaker of the House, got with Biden. Did we get rid of the article? Pull up the Washington Post article again. I want you to go to the top. There's more Democrats voting for McCarthy's deal than Republicans. You see that? And then opposed it. Obviously, more Republicans opposed it than Democrats. So
You
there
think
you go.
all the Republicans who oppose it are also going to support removing McCarthy as Speaker?
I mean, that's the there's 2 moves. So basically, you remove McCarthy, right?
Are people calling for that already?
I haven't heard
Yeah.
about it yet, but I think that could be
Freedom
coming down the
Caucus-
pipeline.
Freedom Caucus publicly called for it. They said that they're going to, if this passes, which it did.
Well, but it's still, so there's one other test here is
Yeah, the
they
Senate.
need unanimous consent to not debate on it in the Senate. Otherwise, they get like 30 hours of debate, and someone could technically filibuster.
Right, but McCarthy still, like, that was a promise they had, like, no
Fair,
reason
yeah,
to-
fair. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we'll
good
see
point.
what happens.
Well, we will see what happens, but let's just be honest. I mean, maybe you get some Mike Lees or Rand Pauls or Ted Cruz's of the world that will,
J.D. Vance.
puff their chest up and take on the fight and give it a good effort. But this thing's going to pass the Senate. So
Yeah, McConnell's behind it. A lot of the Republicans are going to get behind it. I heard both the North Dakota senators are going to get behind it, so it's not looking good. And yeah, actually, I was driving here. I told you guys that I was listening to the radio, and Matt Rosendale, the congressman from Montana, one of the guys who voted against McCarthy and was bringing the fight in the very early days to make sure that we'd actually have a conservative agenda. He was on doing an interview. I called in and asked him about Thomas Massie and how Thomas Massie's being talked about in the media as this swing vote, and he's supposedly a libertarian and that he should be on principle against this deal. But, just like we're saying about Fishbach, Thomas Massie, liberty champion, helps pass this bill along. It seems to me that he's beholden to Kevin McCarthy now, Thomas Massie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate to see because he used to be so good. But, he said, he votes for this thing out of the Rules Committee. He's going to vote for it on the floor. It's just crazy. And, it is nuts when we see that, some of the most hardcore freedom-oriented people are falling in line with what they're supposed to do. And
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah,
I
and then
looked it up
Nancy
and
Mace, who's a more moderate person, she was there, one of the firmest people against it.
I was shocked by that.
Yeah, she's not bad on every issue.
But what's the deal with Marjorie Taylor Greene? Like, is she just now?
She gets along with Kevin McCarthy.
Maybe a little too well, from what the rumors say.
Yeah, I think you started that rumor that they're sleeping together. I've never heard that from anyone else.
No, I've seen it. People talk about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's kind of like overtly too much.
She cheated on her husband. They're getting a divorce. Like,
oh, are they?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, Morgan Luttrell voted against it. Glad to see that.
Aaron Rasmus on YouTube said he's having issues with Rumble. Went to pay for a Rumble rant and it didn't seem to work, and he's having issues with commenting this week.
He's probably. Are you watching on a? Is it a Android phone? Apparently, there's a problem with that.
But he said how much money needs to be raised to beat Rhino establishment. Tom Emmer and CD6 haven't voted for him since he lost governorship run.
Oh, great question. I mean, essentially at this point, all you have to do is have an attractive candidate, and you organize from the grassroots. But there's enough on Tom Emmer to beat him, right?
You want to know
all his money.
Can I talk about my opinion on this? Or
Well, hold on. If you get the Republican endorsement, which wouldn't be as much of a money grab, then you got a pretty good shot, I think, in the primary. But yeah, fair enough. He's going to spend millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, you'll see the Thomas Massies come stump for Tom Emmer. That's when you really know these guys are a bunch of
Yeah.
phonies. And
Right.
guess what? Donald Trump will endorse Tom Emmer.
We don't know that. We don't know.
You know it's going to happen, though, right?
I could
No,
run
I
on
don't.
CD6.
It totally would happen.
I don't know that.
That's one of my big issues with Donald Trump. He endorses a lot of bad people, and you even admit that too.
Well, yeah, he's getting loyalty from people. So,
Yeah.
politics
I mean,
is a game, whether we like it or not. It
to
is a
his-
game, and it has to be played.
To his credit, to Trump's credit, I'm actually going to defend Trump for once.
All right.
I think he has a lot of bad people around him who tell him, hey, you got to endorse this guy. This guy's good. He loves you.
I know there's no.
So that's not. Well, how's that a credit to Trump? He's got a lot of bad people.
He's
around
not
him. So don't have
actively
bad people
seeking
around
to
you.
endorse these people. He's just like, all right, whatever, I'll endorse
I know,
this guy.
but it's still his fault. He's got bad people around him giving him bad advice.
Right,
so get rid of those
exactly.
people.
Well, and
that's-
sometimes it's just like he's just saying, yeah, go out and vote for the Republican. Sometimes that's just what happens.
Yeah, but
Scott
you-
Jensen, for example, he wasn't, knocking on Trump's door trying to get an endorsement. So Trump just gave him a little Truth Social, just vote for Scott Jensen.
Yeah, but that's different.
you
We're
know-
talking about like he'd actively get involved in a primary, and he would probably back Tom Emmer, who literally is, a rhino.
Oh, I don't know if he'd get involved in a primary for
He
Emmer.
does all the time. I bet he would.
For Emmer, I don't think so.
Well, Emmer's been a loyalist to Trump in many regards, and
He's not endorsing him, so why would Trump endorse
well,
him?
fair enough. Yeah, I guess if he's not going to endorse him,
Yeah, if he's not endorsing Trump ain't doing him any favors.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point. He does hold that against him. What's
Oh, yeah.
what's up, Bridget?
Well, there's some comments. I wasn't
go
trying
ahead.
to put one in, but let's see. I didn't have one up there. Napkinator79 says free college for immigrants who broke the law even coming in. Milquetoast morons.
We're going to get to that story
yeah.
here in just a minute. Yeah, because that's interesting, and we uncovered this a day or two ago, that you'll be paying. You won't get your surplus back, but you'll be paying for college tuition of illegal immigrants.
Bad Hat Harry, referring back to the all the pride stuff, he said transvestite, the word itself, vestis, is Greek, if I remember correctly, for clothes. And then earlier on, he said the trans idea came into fruition in Rome before their fall.
Yep, that's true. There's a lot of sexual immorality that comes before the fall of civilizations. It seems like that.
Right, which is why I can't imagine what the gain is for people pushing this stuff. You know what I mean? Like if it inevitably leads to societal collapse, like how can you profit off of that?
Well, because societal collapse here is good for the people that want to fundamentally change America, right?
It's good for the Satanists and
Yeah,
the
but I just don't
supposed
think it's-
Satanists. Out
I
there.
think the Marxists, honestly, I think it's the people that believe in this like Marxist view of governance.
That's also true. For like kind of coming back, creating a new Marxist government
Yeah.
after the fall. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like I've sometimes thought about pulling away from politics, in the past. And it's like, how do you pull away from politics? If you look at the way that I look at the world, certainly U.S., and you think that we're doomed financially, because we are, let's just be honest, we're already defaulting on our debt. When you got to print money to pay off your debt, you've defaulted, okay? So that means there's going to be some kind of reset. In fact, the globalists even talk about a great reset. So they already talk, and this is in their talking points, a big reset of global economy. So that's going to happen in America. So then I look at this, I go, well, then we're in a period where they're going to be kind of like the founding, lots of different ideas of what this new country looks like. And I want to have a large voice for the constitutionalist out there. Like, hey, our founding generation got it right. The problem that we had is we went away from that.
Right.
We didn't heed the warnings of Jefferson with debt and heed the warnings of people that said, like things that are real fascinating. Actually, this is a good. Did I put this in the show notes, the ATF story? Do me a favor. Go pull up actionforliberty.com, and you guys can do this at home. I want to talk about this here. And then we'll get into this story about the free college for illegals. The ATF on Tuesday, the day of the signing of Universal.
It's that third story, Dawson.
Marijuana. Yep, there you go. Perfect. The ATF has a clarifying guidance in Minnesota that you cannot own a firearm, you cannot possess, you cannot just transfer a firearm if you are a user of a controlled substance, in this case marijuana, because the federal government still considers it a narcotic. And the Federal Gun Control Act of 1968, I'm quoting right now, prohibits any person who is an unlawful user of or addicted to any controlled substance defined by the Controlled Substance Act of 1970 from shipping, transporting, receiving, or possessing firearms or ammunition. Now, regardless of what you think about legalized marijuana, the federal government has no right to make a plant illegal. Mm-hmm. That's a massive abuse of their power. So the whole Controlled Substance Act of 1970 is unconstitutional. Even more apparent to us is they've never got a right to actually take our firearms away. That wasn't that was not in Article 1 or Article 3 or Article 2 of the US Constitution, the congressional powers and president's powers. It was actually further protected in the Second Amendment, that the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And so the ATF, and this is a special agent here in charge of Minnesota, which his name is Jeff Reed, says regardless of recent changes in Minnesota law related to the legalization of marijuana, an individual who is a current user of marijuana is still federally defined as an unlawful user of a controlled substance and therefore is prohibited from shipping, transporting, receiving, or possessing firearms and ammunition. Under what damn authority do you have to say that? Like, that is so anti-constitutional. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Some federal agency with a really shitty record, by the way, ATF shouldn't even exist. And by the way, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, and now they throw explosives into it. Mm-hmm. Like alcohol, tobacco, why do we have a federal agency called alcohol, tobacco, and firearms? It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go in the history of when it was created, but this is a federal agency telling the Minnesotans who just saw the legalization of pot that not only can you not use pot, which has been legalized in Minnesota, you can't own a firearm, and you'd be guilty of a felony for owning a firearm. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think this ever gets prosecuted.
Right, it'd have to be on federal charges. So yeah, it would have to require a federal prosecutor. Right. So it'd be way less likely because when are federal agents going to be in Minnesota enforcing laws like the police are? Probably never. Hopefully never. But it's still ridiculous that there's this kind of problem with the law, and we know exactly how the government operates. They're looking for any little opportunity they can to strip people of their Second Amendment. So, people need to be fully aware of this and be prepared to defend it.
Maybe we should work with the Democrats because they love their illegal pot now. We
Yeah.
should say let's write a bill that says sheriffs will arrest, or actually I guess this would be like a county by county thing, but sheriffs will arrest any federal agent trying to enforce these illegal confiscations of guns or arrests on guns.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like we're 180 degrees different. I mean, the whole point of the Second Amendment is that the government can't take your firearms, right? The right of the people, a well-regulated militia. We need a militia made up of the people to repel a government, a tyrannical government. That's the whole point of the Second Amendment. And so in order to have a militia of the people, because that's who makes up the militia, is you have to have the right to keep and bear arms. So if the government comes in and says you can't have arms, that defeats the whole point of the Second Amendment. So we're 180 degrees different. So my point is, when we have this reset, we better have people on our side that are advocating for a constitutional government. And I think you just go back to the original design of this country. But no doubt there's going to be the Marxist type, and they're going to have Hollywood and media and all that stuff on their side promoting a completely fundamentally different governance. And if we've completely lost our government, then we have no protections like on the Second Amendment and First Amendment. By the way, America is unique in the fact that we have a First Amendment. It's unlike anything else. And we'll get into that when we talk about Twitter. Anyhow, there's my rant. I don't think anyone paid for that rant, but there's my Rumble rant for the day, unless you want me to do a different Rumble rant. Let's go to the story here. An actionforliberty.com. William wrote this one. It's about Democrats are keeping your surplus money. Remember, they owe you $8,000.
Right.
And they're giving them measly $260 back, and you're going to be paying for college tuition for illegal immigrants.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, this is like Democrat pipe dream kind of stuff. Like, this is the culmination of what they want. I'm not aware of any other state that has a program like this that literally pays for the college tuition of non-citizens. It's crazy. So you guys remember when we were talking about how Gene Pulowski, Omar Fatah, in the Minnesota House and Senate, they pushed through this conference committee bill which included free college tuition for everybody's families who make under $80K per year. As we just found out, Axios broke this, I think, maybe 2 days ago. This actually includes illegal immigrants, non-citizens, and people who previously applied for reduced tuition under like the North Star Promise Act, I believe it is. They're automatically enrolled in this. So we already know that at least 600 illegal immigrants will have their tuition paid for in the state of Minnesota. It's absolutely crazy. And what's to stop people from coming? I mean, if you're an illegal immigrant that gets free tuition in Minnesota, what's to stop like literally everybody else from coming into Minnesota and getting their tuition paid for?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, would they turn down someone from Wisconsin to get free college education in Minnesota because you're a Wisconsin citizen, but if you're a non-U.S. citizen, you can get it? Like,
Right, it just doesn't make any sense. So you can imagine this program's going to be exponentially more expensive than what they promised. And we got to go back and look at how much they actually allocated for this. But I guarantee in future years, they're going to be allocating a lot more money, which means they're going to be taxing you a lot more.
Well, it's House File 2073. I wanted to say it was like in the ballpark $100 million. I can look this up on the fly, the appropriation for it. But yeah, I mean, and we didn't even know this thing was coming down. Like, this was like one of their tricks at the end. Oh, right. Yeah, we're going to throw college education into the higher education omnibus bill, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, they got everything they wanted this session.
Right, and that was Gene Pulowski's bill's supposed moderate. You know, there's no such thing as a moderate in the Democratic Party in Minnesota.
He's probably the closest thing, and that says a lot.
Yeah, because he's radical,
this.
Yeah.
Tuition, interstate tuition reciprocity. I'm looking that up. There's 43 matches. Independence college tuition reduction, transfers. I'm trying to find this thing here in just a quick find. So this appropriation includes $50 million in fiscal year 2024 for one-time campus support. The board. Okay, that's not it. This is House File 2073. And you can see it's referenced in William's article. We probably should hyperlink it in there. This is American Indian Scholars. Yeah, so they're also giving free education to Indians here in Minnesota.
Which that's also crazy because you look at like the Native American reservation over in Shakopee, where a lot of those guys are actually doing pretty well, considering the casino right there. They can afford to pay for their kids' college tuition. Yeah, they're all getting free college tuition.
Okay, here we go.
over
North Star
Ireland.
Promise. The following items meanings: eligible student, gift aid, All right, so it pays 100% of tuition and fees remaining, deducting grants and other scholarships. I mean, would these kids even apply for scholarships anymore? So, and then let's see if there's a dollar amount on it. Effective date is July 1st of 2024. So this doesn't go into effect until July 1st of 2024. Why am I not seeing a dollar amount on this thing? I did not see a dollar amount on it.
Maybe that's something they got to hash out in appropriations still.
Yeah, and they got a little time, I guess. But
Yeah.
well, anyhow, they're spending your surplus money on it, right? And yeah, you could just imagine. Well, they wouldn't ever want to see a kid not have their college paid for. So, and we know Democrats have no care in the world about spending more money. I mean, leave it to Minnesota Democrats to squander away a $21 billion surplus, not give it back to you, and still grow government and still grow your taxes, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do we got, Bridget, here before we go to the next topic?
We have actually. Let me figure out who it was. I saw earlier. Somebody was excited. MAGA Jesse was back, but I want to see who it was.
Well, it's a lady.
Yeah, it is. But I lost. Oh, Debbie Z44 says, "Yay, MAGA Jesse is back."
All right, thank you.
So
It does suck when you're not here.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
his energy.
You're always fun to have in studio.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch the last episode. I was on the road, so yeah, I don't know what
sucks
happened.
when you're not here. All we have is freaking William.
Yeah, I was wondering if I should take offense to that or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of meant it
well,
that
it's
way
kind
too.
of an offense to yourself, Jake, too. But that's okay.
Bridget
Cable.
really is throwing some things out today.
It's true
yes,
though.
Dawson's
If
a little shocked
only
by that one.
the show's only great with Jesse, I mean that's a slight at you.
That's true. I just host it,
Yeah.
No one watched it. It was just me. I mean, my God, I wouldn't even watch it. Like, honestly, I'm not as entertaining as Jesse.
You don't watch your shows?
No, I never
take
watched the
way
show.
Oh,
too
you
long.
should. It's super helpful, I think.
Yeah, I have to watch a couple just to learn on things to improve, but
It feels
I don't
pretty
like watching myself.
egotistical, like watching your own shows.
Usually when I'm at work and I'm just like have something on in the background so that I can pay attention to whatever else, I'm usually watching my own streams.
Yeah, but
So-
you're weird, Dawson.
Yeah. Well,
Here's
also-
this, and I'd love to hear from you guys what you think. But honestly, my whole idea of the show and the concept, it's a hang. This is just like, I like people. I love people so much, right? And it's just kind of fun hanging out with people. And we all work closely on projects together and stuff like that. So it's like, why don't we all do a show? You just need someone to host it. I'm the lucky host. Otherwise, it's a show that involves everyone here. And I want the show to grow, too. We'll have more people in the studio. You see Mark Bashowski and Eric Mortensen joining often. We'll have other guests. We've got some pretty exciting ones coming up. By the way, we're getting close to hitting number 50. Show number 50.
Wow,
So we
really?
got to do something
It's
important.
crazy.
And then I also want to introduce some fun things we're going to be doing after that.
Show
So,
50 should be one of those late night shows,
Yeah.
like what we
Maybe.
did last time.
Maybe.
Yeah, people like that.
Oh, no, we're in show 50 in Pride Month, aren't we?
Mm.
Yeesh.
It's all well, yeah. Interesting that they picked Pride Month because actually the Catholic Church, the month of June is the month of the Sacred Heart, and the Sacred Heart is like always about like our Lord's love for us, and I'm like, that's so ironic that they picked the month of love to be Pride.
Is it ironic, though? Is it?
I mean, it's obviously I think it's done on purpose.
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
so I will not call it the Pride Month. But anyways, there was a comment from a good one actually here. I have it here. There is only one way to stop all the evil sacrifices. Boycotting is a very small sacrifice. Even if little sacrifices add up. Stop relying on election. We need change now, not 40 years from now. And most of it, if not all of our elected officials, are the problem. Simple solutions for huge problems. Stop being complicit in every way possible. And that was from Rydog on Rumble.
Yeah, and great point. First of all, like, stop trusting these people. Stop calling them elected leaders. They're not leaders. They're actually selling you out. And I love that point about the sacrifice because, it is kind of hard to boycott. Like you boycott Target. Now you got to go to Walmart. I don't know how much fun that is for a lot of us. But isn't that a good thing still? A small sacrifice to make to say enough is enough? We do have to fight back against this stuff.
Did Target pull those swimsuits?
Some of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
Oh,
I think
okay.
they tucked it in the back.
Yeah,
Right
right.
there. Ooh.
Then P-More1 says the Constitution has become government's roadmap to making a subservient population, not by following it, but by taking the rights away that makes a government fear its people.
Yeah, I mean, they call it a living, breathing document, which it's not. The Constitution was well written and it stands the test of time. They just don't follow it. That's the thing is, it's one of the reasons I'm against the Constitutional Convention. I'm not really, when I say I'm against it, I just don't think it's going to make a big difference in the end because we have a great Constitution. They just don't follow it. So by amending it, they're not going to follow that either, right? As we just mentioned, where on earth can they enforce these ridiculous laws by the ATF? I mean, the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. Is there a tougher language in the Constitution than shall not be infringed? And they go on and infringe. So the problem with the Constitution is it doesn't protrude fangs and bite its aggressors. It's really the work of we the people to do that. And in our Declaration of Independence, it's like when a government's no longer pursuing liberty and it's not acting in the interest of its own people, it's the duty for us to overthrow that government. And it's at some point becoming really, really close to where we need, I think we just need to restore our government, but most likely something's going to happen, economic, maybe World War III, where there is going to be pressure to change fundamentally the United States, and we better be active and ready to make sure that we go back to the way it ought to be.
Sure.
So, now with that being said, at least we have hope in Twitter, right? Because Twitter's a bastion of free speech. Oh, wait, what happened today?
Maybe not.
Twitter cancels What is a Woman? What is this all about? What do you guys know about it?
Well, it looks like, real quick, that we have a Rumble rant. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh,
Bridget.
I didn't see that. Let's see. K-Wall for life. This show is not Ministry of Truth approved. Cheers.
I appreciate that. Is T-Wall watching? This is K-Wall today.
Jake, you have your
usually are together.
pre-programmed responses whenever someone does a Rumble rant.
I know. If you can't tell, I love people so much. I don't even know people's names here when they got these. But I love the fact that I love our audience. It's great.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it is fun.
I don't have any idea what Tucker looks like. I assume I don't. Maybe I do know Tucker.
He's 32, so
32.
maybe that gives. I guess it doesn't show what he looks like, but
I know a Tucker and
Hopefully not too many
Tucker. You the
wrinkles.
guy in South, like Blue Earth area.
Yeah, he's from southern Minnesota. I
Okay,
think.
maybe I do know who Tucker is then. Do we know each other, Tucker? I can't remember because all I get is Tucker, right?
yeah, it's Tucker 91.
I don't even know who K-Wall is. But and Carla Nelson, I'd love to meet the real patriot Carla Nelson. We love you guys. We talk about you too in our Big Beard Sleepy Eye.
Yeah, what is?
I think so. I can't remember. We've talked before on the phone, Tucker, right?
I think I know who you're thinking of. I think it's a different Tucker.
It's a different Tucker? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes,
Anyhow,
this Twitter
we
thing.
talk about you guys all the time. Of course,
Yep.
I've known Brad Ganser for many, many years and some other people in the show. So we really appreciate
Oh, Carla says I love your show. Best way to stay up to date on Minnesota political happenings.
Jake, you summoned T-Wall.
Oh,
What'd he say?
did he? He always does, actually.
What'd he
Every
say?
time. Hi, just working and lurking. Matt Walsh is great with his What is a Woman video. They are funny. I like her
Speaking of
working
Matt
and lurking.
Walsh and What is a Woman?
There's the blonde Matt Walsh, William Beck.
Well, that. But also,
So what
Twitter-
happened here?
Yeah, Twitter has an issue with What is a Woman, apparently. So you got that Twitter thread I sent over, right, Dawson? I sent it over email.
Why don't you put in the show notes? That's the easiest way to get it to him.
For me, it's the easiest just to email.
Tucker said he hasn't talked to
Oh,
you.
but it's not about easy. Oh, he's never talked to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyhow, we love you, Tucker. We love everyone that's watching the show. We wouldn't do this if it wasn't for you guys, and the fact that we have an audience that comes back every day or every week that we do this. Excuse me, except for Carla Nelson, who apparently was on vacation for the last 2 weeks. And see, we notice when you're not watching. That's the thing. Is
There we
we
go.
like literally are hurt.
Dover Dan says Jesse is my bud.
There you go, Dover Dan too, right?
Oh,
Love
yeah.
this.
So
All right, what we
scroll
got
up
here?
to the original tweet there.
This is Jeremy Boring of the Boring Company. Doesn't he have a, no, that's Boring Company.
That's Elon Musk.
What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Of many different companies. One being Jeremy's Chocolates. Another one is Jeremy's Razors. But he's the guy behind
Daily Wire.
Daily Wire.
Something of mine. Almost advice. What did he say? Twitter canceled a deal with Real Daily Wire to premiere What is a Woman for free on the platform because of 2 instances of misgendering. I'm not kidding. Here's what happened. Now, I just want to make a note here. When we went through this whole saga with Steven Crowder, talking about Daily Wire, and that got a little ugly, and talked about you guys are reliant on the traditional media that hates you, kind of vindicates what he's saying here, and the fact that Twitter was going to block your premiere of this show. But anyhow, as we started the show, Elon Musk responded. I haven't seen this yet, so what did Elon have to say?
So he doesn't actually directly address the deal about what is a woman. He just simply talks about the policy of misgendering at Twitter. Here, I can read it. This was a mistake by many people at Twitter. It is definitely allowed. Whether or not you agree with using someone's preferred pronouns, not doing so is at most rude and certainly breaking no laws. I should note that I do personally use someone's preferred pronouns, just as I use someone's preferred name, simply from the standpoint of good manners. However, for the same reason, I object to rude behavior, ostracism, or threats of violence if the wrong pronoun or name is used. So see, he doesn't even address.
So he basically said a lot of nothing there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we should respond to Elon and go and then like quote that article on them and say, would you refer to someone as fey and fair?
Do you think Elon's controlled oppositions that people are always saying?
I think so.
It kind of seems more and more like it.
Knowing that, and the new CEO, that Linda Yaccarino,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I mean, she's WEF, World Economic Forum, you know, and,
That's just weird.
you know, she's totally tied to the COVID cultists, totally tied with the vax mandate, totally tied with the mask mandate, totally tied with the lockdowns, and now Elon Musk says,
is
oh,
totally
yeah, that's
tied
who
with
I
those
want.
things?
I don't want to hear it. No,
No,
you,
go on.
you got nothing anyway. But this Linda Yaccarino, you know, I don't know why you want to carry Elon's water. I mean, this guy's no good, you know. And also, you know, let's just get into it. You know, we're talking about it anyway. You know, okay. Elon Musk says
one thing.
Elon Musk says, you know, oh, Twitter was rigged for Biden in 2020. So what is he doing in 2024? He's rigging it for Ron DeSantis. He's totally using the benefit of Twitter to help out Ron DeSantis. If it was wrong when they did it for Biden, it's wrong when they do it for Ron. You know, this is some deep state tactics being used by Elon Musk to help out Ron DeSantis. It's sneaky, it's sturdy, and I want nothing to do with it.
Owns Twitter.
Didn't a journalist or someone like say, I love Donald Trump, or I'm voting for Donald Trump, and then I'm voting for Ron DeSantis, and then it showed like one got so much more. Is that what you're referencing? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know about that.
Actually, no. This is funny. So someone posted hashtag DeSantis 2024 on Truth Social.
Mm-hmm.
They were banned like a couple minutes later.
Well, I don't think that's
So
how it
Trump's
actually
using the
happens.
same thing. No,
No,
that is how it
I
happens.
see DeSantis stuff on Truth Social. But, you know, I totally believe that Elon is tilting the scale for Ron DeSantis on Twitter. You know, and that's the thing. They had that failed launch, you know, the worst presidential announcement in history.
That's
I've never seen
editorializing.
anything so bad. 25 minutes of glitches,
DeSantis
just reading a
broke the
paper.
internet. DeSantis broke the internet. With
Yeah,
his
right.
announcement.
No. That's not what happened. What
I
happened
didn't
was
see it. I mean, how bad
Twitter
was
is
it?
broken. That's what happened. He didn't break the internet. Twitter's broken, and Elon's got a broken mind, too.
I never forget Elon Musk showing the is that what they call it? Cybertruck?
Cybertruck.
Yeah, the Cybertruck, and he's like, it's bulletproof windshields, and they throw like this little metal pebble, and it just like cracks open. It's like, oh my God, really? Like, no one
Right.
tested this?
Right. Well, the technocracy, the transhumanist movement, it's coming, and it's happening because of Elon Musk and, you know, Ron DeSantis. I'm sure he's going to love approving the Neuralink because, you know, Elon Musk says, oh, I got the Neuralink approved. We're
FDA
going to use
already
it for
approved
testing. Yeah, great. Yeah, we're going to stick things in people's minds to make them, you know, half human, half robot.
And
You know,
I don't support that. And look,
Well, I know, but
don't-
that's what Ron DeSantis will lead us to.
Wait, how did
I
you
don't-
draw that conclusion?
Yeah.
That was an interesting
Because
one,
why,
wasn't it?
why would
Yeah.
Elon be supporting this guy? You think Elon's going to support a guy that's not going to allow him to do the businesses that he wants?
Elon's been drifting to the right over the years. I mean, he doesn't get it right all the time. He certainly has his flaws. Like
Yeah, he's got plenty of them.
Oh my God, Jesse's that Charlie meme. That's what he is.
The
Pointing at the wall.
conspiracy?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what you are.
it's all connected.
Because you went from
See,
DeSantis to
I know.
Neuralink.
You really like stretching things here, but then when we bring up obvious things about Trump, you're like, oh no, you're just a propaganda machine. You're in the DeSantis cult.
Well, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, I mean, the Neuralink thing, I mean, that's a for real thing happening, you know, and unless people stand up to it, it's going to happen. And You know,
I think most of us agree on the neural. I mean, what do you guys think? I think it's like a bad idea. I don't.
Me
think
too.
it's
Oh
really
yeah,
a bad
it's
idea.
super bad.
It's scary.
yeah,
How
and
dare
that's
do
the thing. Elon wants to make Twitter, call it X and make it the app for everything. That's freaky. That's a guy that wants control. That's a guy who wants control over our personal lives, how we think, what we say. I want nothing
Well,
to
it
do
says
with
he's
it.
a free speech absolutist, and then Turkey's government's
Yeah.
like, hey, you gotta silence
He's
this.
a
And
phony.
it's like, oh, okay, we'll do it. Oh, we're just following the laws of the country that we're in. It's like, are you gonna take the principled stance or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
wait
not.
until we see what Linda Yaccarino has in store. It's
Did
only going to get
so
worse.
Is she officially the CEO now? Did this policy come about?
I mean, I'm not sure if it's all set in stone yet, but I mean, that's what's happening.
Don't you love how the left journalists are like, see, he's such a fraud. He's not a free speech absolutist because he doesn't want them showing the plane number that he's taking. It's like the wing number of the planes he's on or whatever it was. But he's like,
Well, and also-
I do want to worry about my own security. That's the thing they go
Well,
after.
Yeah,
him
but then
for.
also
kids,
he
too. That was
applies
a
the
big
rules
deal.
unfairly for himself. It's like, oh, you better not have a parody account of me, but you're allowed to have a parody account of all these other people.
Yeah.
No problem there. But if you try to pretend to be Elon, oh, I'm taking you off Twitter. He's rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised the guy has that much time. Like, you really think he sits on Twitter? He's like, oh, I want that person banned. I want that person.
Yeah, but
banned.
like time.
A
it's
mix
like,
of it.
Well, I
Yeah,
bet people
probably
are
not very much
giving
time, but
info.
Well, if you don't sleep much and just
It's true.
scroll on Twitter for 5 minutes, maybe it's his bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
could be.
Maybe.
Napkinator says Ron has zero policy up on his website. He's putty.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
well,
about
guess
too.
what
I was just
policy-
looking at the website. I was like, where is the issues? Where is the policy? Where is he going to say what he actually believes? He's not
When
gonna
is
tell
Donald
us.
Trump going to talk
It's
about
all
the debt
empty
ceiling?
platitudes.
When's Trump going to talk about the debt ceiling?
He talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago?
He said Republicans should not sign on to the debt deal unless
No.
real spending
What's the-
cuts are made.
But what about this deal? Like,
Yeah.
now that the deal's
What-
been
the
made,
deal?
where's Trump condemning this?
He also said on True Social that unless they are going to what's the right
Oh, now you're
word?
filibustering it. You
No,
don't want to
no.
answer my question.
No, I'm answering it. No, I'm telling
long
you what
before
Trump
the end
had
of
to
the show
say.
here?
No, I can't remember exactly what Trump said on True Social, but he said something to the effect, and he was retruthing someone. But basically, it said that
I saw that. Yeah, the most
he
he
did
could
say
do-
one little thing, but you know what? That's the thing. Trump is negotiating right now. He's playing 4D chess. He's he's talking. He's in a lot of people's ears. He's figuring out what exactly should be done right now. He understands where the base is at. He understands what he thinks. So
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
the problem. That's why I think Trump's kind of being a coward here, is because what he's not doing is talking about this debt deal because he's so fearful. I'm guessing McCarthy reached out to him. He's like, dude, I need your help.
He's best buds with Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah, you can't be talking out against this debt deal that I just cut and sold out of the future of our country. More Democrats voted for it, So Trump, please take it easy because there'll be chaos in the conference if you talk out against it. And that's why I think Trump's not talking about it.
I mean, the
'Cause Trump
vote.
cares
No,
more
here's the
about
thing.
his-
No, the votes were already there. The votes were already there.
Yeah,
whether,
on the
whether
Democrat
anybody
side.
said anything, the votes were already there.
Actually,
So,
Trump
but once
does
again,
have a lot of
once
sway,
again,
though.
DeSantis talked out against this thing. Trump is
Because
a
he
no-show
had
on
to.
a very.
DeSantis is only saying things because he knows
Regardless,
he has to try
at
to
least
win
did
us
it.
over.
He at least did it.
It's fake, though. It's fake. He wouldn't do
It's-
anything.
What are you
He's
talking
a fraud.
about? Look at how he's
Well, I
led the
might
state
not-
of Florida. In fact, he's led the state so great that Trump and his family all moved to Florida.
Oh, look at you picking
they
up his
there
own
already, or
talking
were they
points
not?
too.
Well,
Yeah, you're picking up
officially-
Trump's talking points.
No, I got my own. I got
No,
my
you
own.
don't.
Yes, I do.
Actually, that's true. You did have that weird.
All right,
talking
well, let's
point
go.
about
What
Neuralink
did you
and
have
Trump.
ready to go
Or,
to go
DeSantis.
against us?
Oh, I got a few things. I mean, yeah, we could pull up Ron DeSales tax. That's a good one because Ron DeSantis.
All right,
seems
we'll
to
pull up whatever you got on Ron Oh my God, this
No,
is.
we're not playing Trump propaganda.
Well, yeah. In
Trump.
fairness to you, did the propaganda on Ron DeSantis, so
I will
What
say.
propaganda? What
I
are you
don't know. I'm
talking
just
about?
using
I will
Jesse's
say just
talking
real
points
fast, I watched this earlier because I was, what's it like, morbidly curious. This is not well made, but
Oh, it's pretty good.
okay.
In Congress, Ron DeSantis wanted to replace the current system with a national sales tax, a 23% tax hike on almost everything you buy, from the gas station to the grocery store. You'll pay more here. We can't afford Ron DeSantis.
So
No, that's just, That's great.
It's pretty
That's
good.
hilarious, though.
It's entertaining.
We can't afford Ron sales tax. That's so good.
Yep.
And
It's
you
a good
weren't here.
nickname. Yeah,
you weren't
good
here,
nickname.
but on Tuesday I had trouble remembering DeSantis' name because of all the names that Trump
yeah.
calls him. I couldn't get it out of my mouth. I was like DeSantis. Oh my God, I don't know his name.
Yep.
So I think a popular proposal like a few years back, I'm assuming this is what this is that get rid of the income tax and replace it with a national sales tax.
That's
which
right.
I don't think is an awful idea if you have to have a tax in place. Like
only
Trump
problem-
Trump talks about draining the swamp. He seems like a huge proponent of maintaining the current system that we have.
No,
That's
totally
broken.
false. Because we can say, oh, this sounds so much better. Maybe on paper it sounds better, but you're getting rid of all of the tax deductions that people have. So no longer will you be able to have tax deductions for your children
I'm
or
sure
whatnot.
you could get some sort of rebates if you applied for them.
Well, I don't know about
Anyways.
that. And also, if we're starting at 23%, so what's going to happen is more people are going, you're going to end up paying more to the government with this sales tax than the current tax system that we have. And if we're starting at 23% sales tax, I mean, holy cow, it's only going to get worse from there.
Well, that is
It's only
huge.
going to keep growing and growing and growing. So if DeSantis had his way back then, we might be up to a 50-cent tax right now.
Yeah, but a
it's
consumption
never ending.
tax is far superior to a income tax.
Well, I mean, the income tax, there's so many ways that you can avoid it. So you want to be able to have those tax deductions. You want to have a little bit of freedom in the way that you pay.
Right.
If you're
but-
just forced
but,
to...
but the fact that we have to... I actually don't believe in anything. If we have to pay an income tax, then it should be just a complete flat one that
It should
anyone
be
could do.
easy to take care of.
Right.
But I don't even believe in paying taxes to the federal government. I only do it because
Right.
I don't want to go to prison.
Right.
But I think it's not justice, and they squander my money. They pay for abortions, and they send it to Ukraine. I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a. That's not completely fair, but it is a pretty damn funny commercial.
It's a funny commercial, and yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you'd have to get down to the bare bones of the meat of it, of each plan, because these are Paul Ryan plans, great, Paul Ryan, the greatest ever.
Well, I know, but it doesn't mean all Paul Ryan's ideas were terrible.
Right, of course not.
It
Listen-
doesn't mean that Paul Ryan is Ron DeSantis either.
Well, actually,
Just
Ron
because he voted for
DeSantis
something
in
when he was
2012, and
Congress.
Ron DeSantis, when he first ran for Congress, he said, I could be the next Paul Ryan. I believe that I can be the next Paul Ryan. That's exactly what Ron DeSantis said in 2012. So he is Paul Ryan. They're the exact same.
Well, Donald Trump also donated to Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer. So
Well, yeah, he's
we all forgive and forget sometimes,
wheeling and
don't we?
dealing. He's
Yeah, I
getting
know.
what
We
he
do
needs.
forget, though, right?
I never forgot, but yeah.
Well, let me throw one at you. Pull up the article where he awards Dr. Fauci a presidential citation. Now, did you know that?
I'm aware.
For President
aware
Trump
of 4D
awards.
chess.
No,
I know
hold
how
on,
4D
go back
chess
up.
is played.
Okay, go back. Oh, 4D chess. I can't wait for this one. President Donald Trump awards presidential commendations to Operation Warp Speed team. Today, and this is January 19th of 2020. So this is like the last day in office. Just FYI, right? Because
He was so proud of that vaccine. He
yeah,
just
Biden
had
took
to.
office like January 20 or something like that, right? President Donald Trump awarded presidential commendations to below individuals in recognition of their exceptional efforts on Operation Warp Speed. If you get past Milley and Azar, you get to Jared Kushner. So it's always fun when the president gives his son-in-law an award. But number 6 is that 6 or 7?
Mark
Dr.
Milley, too.
Anthony Fauci. You know who didn't give Dr. Fauci an award? Ron DeSantis.
Well, that's interesting. So the FDA approval, I'm sure you guys are forgetting the timeline because you talk out of step on this one. But, I'm not sure if you remember. The vaccine wasn't created and distributed until the Biden victory. It wasn't until Trump had left office that all of this was going on. The distribution and development under Biden. And what I think is, should our country not have been working to develop a vaccine and stop COVID? Of course we should have been trying to do that. Should our president be looking to fight the bureaucratic red tape that's holding him? Of course he should be doing that. Should we not want something created at a warp speed? Of course that's what we want. Trump did nothing wrong in trying to pursue something good. Then the FDA said, right after he's out of office, bingo, now we can approve it. That's why this all happened.
No, they approved it after the election. He was still
right
in
after
office.
the election, right after the Biden victory. Yeah, so that's when they approved
So
it
Trump
because
was still in office.
Right. Look, that's why they did this. You know, that way they can try and fault him. That way people like you will sit here and, you know, try to blame him. But, you know, who cares about the vaccine, really?
Trump
I mean,
was
think
pushing
about
the
it.
vaccine. He was all
He
excited about it
never
himself.
mandated it, never forced it, never
He
was
never
going
mandated
to.
it, but he told people. And when people booed him, he's like, "Oh, you should get the vaccine."
Oh, yeah,
You
and
don't
so did
remember
Ron
that?
DeSantis. Ron DeSantis, you know, he got vaxxed, he got boosted,
But he
and
banned
then he
vaccine
hid it from the
passports
media.
in Florida.
He
Did
hid it from the
DeSantis
media.
do the famous like roll up your sleeve thing? I'm gonna look.
He didn't. There's no. I've looked into it. There's no picture of him doing it. But what he did do.
Oh, okay.
So he's jabbed, boosted, and was
So
afraid
is
to
Donald
admit it
Trump.
to the. But here's the thing: Trump admits it. DeSantis lies to the media. Hey,
No,
I'm
he's
not
talked
answering that
about
question.
it.
I'm not going to be divisive. He's afraid to admit that he's jabbed and
He's
vaxxed.
totally talked about it. And yeah,
Uh,
he did encourage old people to get it. Yeah,
Right,
that's true.
and including
That's
that.
not a
Yeah.
great thing,
So
but-
that's right. He did encourage old people to get. He used a World War II veteran as a guinea pig on live TV to get the vaccine. He was pushing it big time. There's videos of him
So
all
was
over
Trump?
shutting down Florida. You know, so you
Actually-
can say, but here's the thing: the
That's a fair
argument,
criticism
the
of
argument
DeSantis.
is that DeSantis was so much better on COVID. That DeSantis was perfect on COVID. He didn't do anything right.
According
this guy
to
screwed
Trump-
up time after time after
Hold on,
time.
he
According
didn't do
to
anything
Trump-
right. He was the best governor
Yeah, he did
in
do
the
some things right.
basically the second shutdown era. But a fair point to you is he did actually shut down the state of Florida. He did actually give people a stay-at-home order.
Right.
And were
and
there
here's the
actual
thing:
checkpoints at Florida when you would go in? I keep seeing that, but I never knew that was true.
Huh.
Like you'd have to before you entered the state of Florida, there were like checkpoints.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't
You
know
know,
if
Ron
that's a ru- if
DeSantis,
that-
you know,
if that was
Mr.
accurate,
Freedom,
but-
yeah,
Okay,
right.
no,
But
no.
Democrats
Let me get a
would-
word in. Let me get a
All
word
right,
in.
Get
Let
it
me get a
in.
word in.
Get
So-
it in.
So Trump
Do you have the
recently
split
praised
screen,
Andrew.
Dawson? Let's get that split screen
Trump
going.
praised Andrew Cuomo for his COVID response and said that DeSantis did an awful job.
He said that
Do you really think
he
Cuomo
said more
did better
people
than
died.
DeSantis?
You're using the same talking points. That's not what Trump said. What Trump said is more people died under
He's also been
DeSantis.
praising Charlie Crist, the Democrat who ran against him.
No, he
recently.
said that Florida is a sunshiny state that's always been great. But here's what I
But
want
then
to
he
get
also
to.
recently said that Florida's awful and has been awful under DeSantis' leadership. So which is it? Like
Well,
Trump can't make up his mind
All
on
of
the
the
state that he
above.
lives in.
All of the above. But here's the thing: Democrats would have never gotten the vaccine if 2020 was a fair election. And here's the thing: DeSantis, this guy, he pretends like he was after Fauci this entire time. He didn't say shit. He didn't say a single word about Fauci until Trump was out of office. He never said that we should fire Fauci. He never said that we need to do something about Fauci until Trump was gone.
Yeah, but
it's all
Trump
opportunistic.
gave
It's all
Fauci
fake.
an award. That's
I know,
the
but
crazy
DeSantis is
thing.
weak. I'm telling you, DeSantis wouldn't have done anything
Dover
right.
Dan
I
says
know,
keep
but
your
that
enemies
might be a
close.
fair.
It's
Hold on.
tactic.
What's that?
Dover Dan says keep your enemies close, and he agrees with Jesse that 40 chess basically with
Yeah,
giving
but
Fauci
that's
an award.
that's so
And
BS because
Trump was exposing Fauci during this entire thing too.
Why
Trump
didn't he
has always
fire-
said it
But
came
why
from
didn't
the
he
lab.
fire
Well, I don't
Fauci?
think. I don't
Well,
know
why
if
didn't
actually-
DeSantis call for it? He didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Not
He said
until
he would've
Trump was
fired-
gone.
I know, but I love how you always make this about DeSantis. I might agree that DeSantis might not be better.
I know, but I'm
just these
saying
are real problems with
DeSantis'
Trump.
main argument is I was better on COVID, and it's not true.
I think it
It's
was
not
true.
true.
It was true.
No, I mean I'm
Trump
telling you.
encouraged the lockdown.
Why didn't he try?
Then he-
why
Trump
didn't
Well,
he try
Trump
to
also
fire
pushed
Fauci?
the vaccine though, so that we could keep the economy open.
But if
which
DeSantis
is
says I
huge.
would have fired Fauci, why is he saying it after the fact? Why wasn't he saying it when Trump was president?
Why didn't Trump fire Fauci?
Why didn't DeSantis talk about it?
I'm on Trump right now. Why didn't Trump?
Yeah, and
Trump-
I'm on DeSantis, so I don't think we're ever going to see eye to eye.
Oh my gosh.
So Trump was criticizing Brian Kemp for opening up the state of Georgia before he wanted.
Rhino
to.
Brian Kemp, WEF Brian Kemp.
Yeah,
Is
and he
that the one you're
opened his-
talking
he
about?
opened his
the one who goes
state
to the World Economic Forum. Yeah.
No, address the issue here. He opened his state earlier than Trump wanted to, and Trump was pissed
Yeah,
about it.
let's make Brian Kemp president. That sounds great.
Hey, Jesse, answer the thing. Why did Trump?
Dude, you know I don't like lockdowns. You know I don't like any of it. And I'm just saying that Trump is better on the issue than DeSantis. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Wait, that's
Wow.
it? Well, that's it.
Quickly.
I'm just
Well,
done
this was
talking
entertaining
about
for
it.
us. We were watching. That's it. That's all the people get. Okay.
You have to tune in to Political Junkies. This
Oh,
week
look
to
at this
watch-
guy! Wow, pimping out his show. When is the next Political Junkies?
I don't know. We gotta talk.
Yeah,
about
we'll
you
figure it
gotta
out.
do it. This is the best part of it. You guys get in the weeds and things. What other things did you want to bash the sanctimonious for? Do you have any other things in the show notes that you want?
Yeah, there was
Dustin?
a couple other things.
I can't believe it. Oh my God, you got a ton of things in here. Ron to lockdown.
Yeah, Ron to lockdown. Let's run
Ron
to
to
lockdown.
red flag.
Yeah, Ron to red flag.
I think we need more.
It's never
strict
gonna
rules
end.
About.
You got a million names for him.
I got a
Because
lot of.
because his name starts with a D.
I know.
I know.
And he says D, not duh.
Yeah.
You could pretty much put any word behind that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is this one?
This is Ron to lockdown. So you'll see that he's not the freedom-loving guy he claims.
Oh man, I hate this.
Spring breakers is that the party's over in Florida. You're not going to be able to congregate on any beach in the state. Bars are closed, so you're not going to have a place to congregate there. So we would just tell those folks, maybe come back next year when things are better, but that is not what we're looking for here in the state of Florida. Every single beach will have to abide by the CDC guidelines. No more than 10 people. You have to be socially distant. Not every beach is going to remain open, but some will. Well, people are they're being very mindful. A lot of folks are really taking this seriously, and we thank them, particularly our senior citizens.
Yeah, but Jesse, you got to put this in perspective.
The party is over.
I am totally joking.
The party is over.
Also,
I'm totally
whose
joking. I
CDC
know, I'm totally
was
joking.
that he was referring to? Who's president?
Well, I mean, come on,
Yeah, but that's
man.
the problem. So Trump never did it, right? But the Sanctimonious said that
Well, but
basically Trump was encouraging him to do this, right? Mm-hmm. Which still means, as a governor, DeSantis, you should not have done it, right?
I think there was a point during COVID where I'm not justifying it because the lockdowns were abysmal. I think DeSantis should have thought twice before doing them, and that's why Kristi Noem got so much attention because she didn't do a lockdown at all.
Right.
But look, people were scared at the beginning of COVID. They didn't know what it was or what to do about it. So I understand the initial fear. I was initially kind of like, "Whoa, what is this thing?"
Well, we all were, but
we all were.
There's a difference
it's not
between,
an excuse.
Yeah, there's a difference between a governor saying, "Hey, you can't do this," and I somehow have this authority. And I don't think Trump looks good here either, because Trump didn't officially do it. From what I understand, he was encouraging people to do it.
No. So what happened
Ron
when DeSantis decided finally to make Florida free, when he finally decided to end the lockdowns once and for all, Fauci was going after him. What Trump said at that time was, I let the governors make their own choices. They're allowed to do what they want. I'm not going to step in. I have the authority to step in, and I'm not going to.
He didn't let them, but it's still...
Well, there was a national set of guidelines as to
was Trump encouraging
what lockdowns were.
Was he encouraging the lockdown?
He said the governors can do what they want.
No, there were a set of guidelines.
At least
Trump
DeSantis
released.
says that
there were no federal lockdowns.
You're sidestepping the point here, and let's just have an honest conversation here if you want to. Do you want to have a conversation about
that's fight fair, William. Fight fair. Come on.
Let's have
He's
a
not
conversation.
fighting
Now you're trying
we're bringing
to
up points, and he's being the politician.
You're trying to be
saying,
the big guy in the room now. That's not fun.
Mr. Moral Superiority.
Mr. Morals.
Wow, now you're taking his side here, Jake.
No, I'm taking the side of right here. I want you guys getting those gloves on.
Was there or was there not a set of federal guidelines that came from Trump's administration regarding lockdowns? Yes or no?
From the CDC, yeah, there was stuff going on with that, yeah. But like I said, the governors had the opportunity to decide what they wanted to do. They weren't forced to do anything by Trump.
Well, no doubt DeSantis has to own that. All right, what's the last one here? Because we're gonna have to finish the show. What is this? The last one was.
Oh yeah, red flag.
Ron to red flag. That's literally put in the show.
That's not a
somebody
video. That's
mentioned that
just
in
an
the
article.
comments.
So you can just
Oh,
click
okay,
on
what
that.
is this?
DeSantis hopes red flag laws will help thwart future shootings. So if people didn't know, red flag Florida, that's what's going on there. Ron DeSantis has said, a mixed bag of things on Second Amendment. But, essentially what he's saying here is, we have these red flag laws. I hope they're effective.
Did Ron DeSantis ever ban parts of firearms by executive fiat?
I don't know about that, but what I can tell you is
What about
everyone
red
knows the
flag
bump
laws?
stock ban wasn't that bad. And actually, I think that Trump has kind of walked it back going, maybe I shouldn't have done
He
that.
says, well, the NRA said I could do it. That's all right.
Yeah, but also that is the NRA's problem too. The NRA needs
of
to
course,
say,
yes.
no gun laws, never.
Actually, yeah. If the NRA, that's why nobody respects the NRA anymore.
Right? Yeah.
But you're against red flag laws, right, Jesse?
Of course.
Yeah. You remember when Trump was talking to Chuck Schumer?
Yeah.
This was televised, and he
Yep.
said, "We need to take the guns before due process.
Yep.
We need to take the guns first, then due process later."
He
I
did
do
say that.
remember that. You're kind of putting me on the spot to think of something good with that. But, what I'll say is that I remember that too.
I respect that.
Trump isn't, a lawyer. Okay, Trump isn't a lawyer. He sometimes has ideas that he's just saying, what is going on here? Why are we allowing criminals and terrorists to have guns? It doesn't make any sense. So when he's talking about it, that's what he's saying. He's saying why are we allowing these terrorists in our country with guns? If someone is going, what he was saying was, if someone is going to shoot up a school, if someone is going to do something that we have the evidence for, we have all the knowledge of, and we can take the firearm before it happens, then maybe you should. Just like when the FBI has given notices of people that are said, I think this person might show up at school. Hey, this person's a little crazy. Those kinds of things, sometimes the legal process is a very long, arduous type system. So sometimes, some people can't have guns.
All right, I wanted to know what you guys think. Rate Jesse's performance there, and let's give him a little time to get his regular color back.
No, I do appreciate
Tucker,
that.
I still got a lot to say on DeSantis,
Oh
actually.
gosh.
Do you really?
I got more.
Ron, the red flag is as you call him
Well,
now?
hold on the red flag thing. I am pissed that DeSantis didn't repeal red flag laws. He didn't institute them; they're already on the books. But he should have
Right. No, it
repealed
came
them.
right before him.
He did get constitutional carry passed in Florida, which is great. I do appreciate that.
It's pretty good. Better
Yep.
record than Trump on guns.
I don't know about that because, like we're saying, he's got the red flag laws there too. But so, back to DeSantis. Okay, Ron establishment, Meatball Rob, more Ron DeSantis, Guantanamo Bay. But, let's look at who's controlling Ron DeSantis. So he's beholden to big money donors and lobbyists. Trump, he doesn't take any special interest money. He doesn't take any lobbyist money. He doesn't
Wait
need
a
to.
second. Is that true? He doesn't take any special interest money?
That's just simply not true.
Well,
I don't
mean,
think that's
there
true at
might be a
all.
lobbyist that individually donates to his campaign, but he is not pursuing any lobbyist or special interest money at all.
Oh, that's not a fair
And-
attack.
and look at what he-
I'm sure he's getting plenty of special interest money.
I
You're
don't
saying
think
that
so.
no.
His PAC maybe.
Well, that's the same thing. I mean, it's technically not the
Yeah,
same
It's
thing.
not
but
the same.
Oh, well, that's what they're doing with Ron DeSantis. You're referring to the super PAC?
No. DeSantis
What are you referring
is,
to?
Well, what
You
DeSantis
can't
is doing,
take corporate
he's-
money.
He's got Obama bundlers. What DeSantis is doing
No,
is
no,
he's
no,
got
no, no, no,
Obama
no. Hold
bundlers
on.
that are funding his campaign.
Mega Jesse, you just said so. You basically, when you say special interest, you're saying not an individual, but like a corporation, right?
More or less, yeah. There's a little
Corporations
more to
can't
it than
donate
that.
to
But yeah,
candidates; they got to donate to super PACs.
right.
So that's what you're referring to. Is they're donating
Well,
to super
in special
PAC.
interest, that also means just individuals who are trying to get a project or something. People who are trying
And
to
you're saying that
buy your
Trump
vote for
doesn't
something.
do that too?
Trump never needed to. He has his own money.
Oh, come
No,
on.
he definitely did not. No, because Trump
Remember
would
in
always brag
2016,
about his fundraising numbers.
No lobbyists, no special interests. I have
Yeah,
my
that was
own money.
2016. He said he
2020 was a lot
self-
different.
Yeah, he said he was going to self-fund, and then once the regular election came in, it was.
You know
anyone
what? If
could.
we had 2016 Trump back, I would wholeheartedly be behind him. But the fact is, Trump's a different guy now.
Oh yeah, right.
I think that's there was a fraud in 2020, but also he didn't run the same campaign.
Oh, I don't know about that, but continuing on, Ron DeSantis, controlled opposition psyop. Okay, Ron DeSantis is a psychological operation.
Wait.
Controlled
Pause.
opposition.
No, we skipped some steps here. How is his special interest money equals psyop? Excuse me.
That's right.
How
Yep.
is he a psyop?
He's a psychological operation onto the American people to try to convince us to fall into this deep state mindset. And what they want to do is they want to put DeSantis can't win. He can't win.
Oh.
He can't win the primary. He can't win the general.
I'm so sorry. I thought we were having a serious conversation.
Well,
here. I didn't know we
hey,
were...
that's exactly what's going on because
Okay.
it's a psychological operation to try to convince the American people to trash on Trump, even though Trump is going to win the primary, whether you like it or not. And then,
that's true.
so what they want to do is they want to sling as much dirt onto him as possible. That's why all these Obama bundlers, all the Obama donors are donating big money to Ron DeSantis.
So name a couple of those. I'm not familiar.
Ken
with this.
Griffin. Ken Griffin is the major player. So Ken Griffin
Well,
is
hold
the
on,
guy.
but couldn't that just be business types that literally aren't that partisan, and so they're now thinking DeSantis is the better route because Biden's
Who
so
donates
crazy?
$1 million to the Obama Foundation? Who does that?
So you're saying no person that's donated to Donald Trump has donated to Democrat candidates?
No, I'm not
Trump
saying that.
Infamously brought
I'm
people
saying
over.
why is the Obama top fundraisers looking to Ron DeSantis to fund his primary
Well,
campaign?
now hold on a second. Let's get our definitions correct here. So he was a top Obama donor, and how do you define what a top Obama donor is? 'Cause that
Millions
guy-
of dollars. Millions.
No, you said $1 million just a minute
to the
ago.
Obama Foundation. Yeah, that was
How
a
much
donation
did
to
he
the
give?
Obama Foundation on top of the campaign donations.
And how much was that?
I don't know about the campaign donations. I know that he did though.
You have your notes here, so I assumed you came prepared.
William.
I'm just
this
flying
guy,
off the cuff here. so
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly. You don't
casual,
you don't have
having a
anything,
hand.
and you're sitting here trying to come after me. So let's just continue on. DeSantis wants Trump locked up. When the indictment came out in New
Excuse
York
me.
City, what was Ron DeSantis? I don't know anything about porn stars. The guy's a fraud. The guy's a scam.
That's a rat. That's a stretch.
No, I know it's a jab at Trump. You know, it's like,
So he wants him locked up?
of course, if you're not going to sit there and defend him, you know, every single GOP candidate should say,
literally
if
offered
I'm
him legal
president,
immunity.
I will release Trump. You know,
He said that Florida will not participate
he
in
only
an
did that when he
extradition.
had to. He only did that when the pressure was building up and we called him out for the fraud he was.
Okay, I have a comment really quick, you guys.
Yep.
DRJ58 says, when George Soros says Ron would be a good president, that's all you need to know. End of story.
No,
When
he
did
did
he
not
say
say that.
that?
That's fake news.
Is it
he
fake
said,
Totally
news?
fake news.
He said that Ron has the best chance of winning. That's what George Soros said. That's
No,
not an
that's
endorsement.
weird.
George Soros wants DeSantis over
That's
Trump.
not
Michael
an
Moore
endorsement.
predicted
He
Donald
still
Trump
wants him.
winning the presidency in 2016. He didn't want it, but he's like, look at what's happening. Democrats, you need to wake up. So, yeah, that's not that wasn't fair.
Yeah.
I think so. But let's go to okay. Let's also look at some of the people who have been, you know. And I was also going to mention, as had been mentioned in the comments, that you look at his website. Where are his positions? Where are the issues? Nowhere to be found. He
Let's
doesn't want to
pull
tell
up
us.
Ron DeSantis' website. It's Ron DeSantis.
Yeah,
last I checked, Jesse's actually right on this. I don't think there are issues. It's just like an about section.
Well, we can put
Yeah, it's
it.
just rondesantis.com.
We could put it up against
I
Donald
will say
Trump's
comments
website,
I think
too.
are supporting Jesse
Well, I mean-
more than William.
You're saying more people are supporting Jesse?
I think so.
Thank
Are
you.
you
Hack-
telling me that
Kate-
more of our audience is Trump pilled than DeSantis pilled?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Think
you
so.
know,
Crazy.
this is
when
news to me.
we're up, Trump is up on DeSantis by like 59 points depending on the poll you look at. So,
Scroll-
I'm not surprised by that.
On the right side, is there anything below that? I was looking on this the other day.
No.
Okay,
This
let's go
website's
to
boring. What the
and let's. Yeah, it is kind of boring. It's kind of
Yeah, it is.
shocking. Kind of does look like a psyop.
Yeah,
does,
it is.
Let's look at Donald J. Trump's website. Do you know what it is by heart? There,
It should
Jesse?
just
I think
be
it's
DonaldJTrump.com.
DonaldTrump.com or DonaldJTrump.com.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Mark Kroll says,
That's
yay,
not better.
Jesse. Dover Dan says, MAGA.
Hold on, what's it say on the
awesome.
top? Mission News.
Yep. Agenda
Mission, that's interesting.
47.
What does that say? Oh, issues. Click on the issues tab.
Yeah, but he's making videos where he's specifically diving into,
Okay.
individual issues.
All right. Well,
No, Trump's had a good platform this time around.
You got it. You got to award Jesse a point on that one. What did the comment say?
Let's see. So we have Jesse. So Roxy1956 says Jesse's 100% right on. I think.
They're just encouraging
Seymour.
this behavior, aren't they?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
they kind of are, I think. That's what Tucker said. He said we have Jesse all worked up. He's swearing.
Yeah,
Bad Hat Harry says Vivek Ramaswamy.
yeah, that's
Over those
interesting.
two.
Well, hold on. Mike Pence is getting this race on June 7th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
He's
game
about to
changer.
shake things up.
Right,
Yeah.
Shake, yeah,
Chris
really
Christie.
shake things up.
Yeah, I loved what Roger Stone put out there. Roger Stone said Chris Christie needs to run, not for president. He just needs to run. But back to DeSantis. So people say his advisors, the people that have worked for him, the people that have been around him for years, they say he is a bully. He's arrogant, full of himself, no personality, the personality of a piece of paper.
Do we really want to get into the people that worked for somebody talking bad about them? Like, do we really want to get into that?
I will. And
no, but I'm just saying.
and then
That's a long list on
well,
Trump,
and also,
right?
who else is backing Ron DeSantis? John Bolton. He was John Bolton. Look it up. John Bolton's favorite congressman was Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, this
Wasn't
is way
that?
back when.
That's the former Trump administration official, John Bolton.
And
right?
I've already explained to you guys a million times that it was 4D chess to have John Bolton in the room.
You don't get
as
to get
an
out of
opponent to your
uncomfortable
adversaries.
situations by saying 40 chess.
No, that's
When
actually
it's
the
true,
beauty.
it's
That's
true.
the beauty of it, though.
When it's
That's-
true,
Somebody
it's true.
said in the
You
comments, I think it was
why
actually
do you think
Tucker.
John
Wait,
Bolton was there then?
Oh, gosh.
Because Trump saw, oh, look, this is a popular guy. I'm going to bring him on. He knows a lot.
He's not
about,
popular.
He knows
Oh,
a
no,
lot
I think it's
about-
because
He's
he was
not
told
popular.
he had
He's
to do it.
popular in conservative circles.
No, he's not.
Great guy, John Bolton.
No.
Love him. A lot of people tell me
lot of
that
people
he-
say John
See,
Bolton's good.
it shows you're not in the mind of Trump if that's what you think happened. No,
I
what
think
Trump said was, I need a guy for intimidation purposes. He said, I barely even take that guy's advice. I'll sit there and have him at the table, sure, but you think Trump was taking his advice? No, and you know what? When Trump, I think he was sitting down with Ireland,
Yeah.
and he had John Bolton sitting next to him, and he said, hey, John, are these guys good? Do we need to bomb them?
Yeah,
just to mess with John Bolton.
it's so
He
funny
treated
to
John
hear.
Bolton
Actually,
like
that
a
was funny. I
clown.
do
He
remember
treated him
that.
like a clown in his administration. So, it was just basically to, make sure that he's getting that perspective. Of why do you not want multiple perspectives? Why would you not want John Bolton's perspective? Even if it's going to be wrong 80, 90% of the time, you still want to hear the guy out. He's been around
Yeah,
for
but
a
you don't
while.
make him the national security advisor or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
You make him.
It's an
Because
unimportant
that's a
position.
whatever. Oh my gosh, it's not an unimportant position.
It's a place.
Plus, it's a resume builder.
and
So
it's a place for gaining intelligence. So John
you can
Bolton-
have him as an advisor. You might make a fair point then. All right.
Yeah.
Go
It was
ahead.
actually P. Moore said, for the 50th show, you guys should do a drinking game with one of the rules being to finish your glass every time Jesse says 40 chess.
yeah.
We'd
I
be
like
drunk.
That. Yeah, like how much are they paying you, Jesse? Because like I'm sitting here,
I
I'm
get
willing
paid
to
with
be
the truth.
open. I'm willing to be open-minded.
with
How much
virtue,
is Soros paying you
with
there,
virtue
William?
and
apparently-
greatness.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, well, let's keep going. Ivy League elite. That's
We
what
got to
I,
finish this thing up here, man.
I'm actually
really
can't-
quick. I
All
just
right.
got a few more points. So Ron
A few more.
DeSantis, Ron DeStablishment. He was in the exact same fraternity as George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush while he was in Yale. That's awkward. That's weird. Why do we want that? He used to party and drink with high school students while he was their teacher. That's a little creepy. A lot of the students said, "Why is this guy here? He's supposed to be our teacher." That's the kind of guy Ron DeSantis is. And then Ron DeSantis, I've mentioned it before. He is the reason Steve Scalise got shot at that baseball game. We've been over this one before. And then
You have.
Ron DeSantis, he goes over on CNN to tell the full story. So I blame Ron DeSantis for that shooting. And then also,
That's
Ron
not something to
DeSantis
joke
tortured
about, though.
innocent
No,
people
that's-
at Guantanamo Bay. That's a fact.
What proof do you have on that? He was illegal, like a low.
We watched the interview on here before, just a part of it. But
Yeah,
the
but he was a
NPR
JAG
interview,
officer. He wasn't doing any.
he approved of it, and there is video evidence of Ron DeSantis saying, "I approved of force feeding," and these were a lot of innocent people in Guantanamo. Of course, there's terrorists too, but no innocent person should be should
That's
be
a funny
tortured.
statement. I mean, they're terrorists too, but whatever. Yeah.
I'm not saying whatever. I'm saying innocent people should not be tortured. Do you think they should?
But when you say force,
No, but you can't just blame Ron DeSantis. Let's
He
go
approved
back.
it. He approved of it.
No. I want to go back a couple points because you just steamrolled all of us in our questions here. So I want to go back methodically and talk about
About
each
what,
of
John
these.
Bolton?
Actually, yeah, I do want to talk about John Bolton now that you mention it because he wants to run for president himself. He's clearly not
No,
a
he's not.
DeSantis guy.
No, he's writing a book and then he's going to endorse DeSantis. I mean, it's happening.
How do you know he's going to endorse
we got
DeSantis?
a
Because
comment.
he loves DeSantis.
We got a comment. Watch Biden fall on stage at
Yeah,
Air
I
Force
know.
Academy. Let's watch this
Someone-
here.
couple
This
people
is
mentioned
NBC News. Just Google. I just googled Biden fall.
When was this?
Oh, apparently today.
Today?
Probably
Oh.
with the last hour.
In Poland.
And well, it said Air Force, so it'd be Colorado Springs
Oh.
Air Force Academy. We haven't watched this yet. Do you have it?
I'm working on it.
All right, you can finish up your thought there, Jesse.
No, I think I got everything I wanted to out for now. I mean, I got a lot more to say on DeSantis in the future, but
Oh my God,
there's
the
a
president
lot
right
to
there.
expose with that guy. So I'll take it one step at a time.
Just look at that image there.
pathetic.
That's a guy that barely can hold himself up.
Does this happen with every president?
No.
When
Like
somebody
never.
falls or does something stupid, then it's like the biggest thing for the opposite side.
I mean,
A little bit
people
when-
make fun of it a
Yeah.
little bit,
Yeah.
but it's like it's a little sad right now what's going
Yeah,
on.
people talk about it here because of his age.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think that audio is going to matter, but
Oh my
Jeez.
God,
Oh,
what
geez.
It was
on
like
earth?
not even.
That's a serious fall there.
Yeah.
It's like he tripped on something.
Do you like roll his?
It looked like his ankle just rolled. Yeah.
Points at something. I mean, falling is so damn embarrassing, right?
Yeah. Should have done a somersault or something.
President, thank you for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the president will be departing.
Was this-
And he's literally
immediately
running
following
again,
Air
isn't he?
Force and
Yeah, he
Space
is,
Force
like-
song.
Was this before or after the drag show at the base? You guys follow that? The Pentagon had to finally cancel these drag shows. Go back to that fall one more time.
Ooh.
I think that it looks worse than it probably was.
You know,
But
It doesn't look like it was that hard of a fall.
oh, it looks like it's a hard fall. I don't know what you
Yeah.
mean by that, but I think
Well, I mean, he should be fine.
I feel like it was maybe his legs tightened up. That's kind of what it looks like there. But I mean, it happens too often with this guy. This guy's What are we doing here? That's the crazy thing. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Honestly,
I feel bad. He, ever since his little bike moment, I've never seen him on a bike since.
Oh,
he loves to ride his bike. Joe Biden, that's his thing. He loves to ride his bike.
He loves his ice cream cones too.
He loves his ice cream. And he loves his bikes, but now he can't bike anymore because he's gonna fall again. I bet his staff
honestly,
doesn't let him.
I still believe that the Democrats are going to pull a shenanigan. They're going to run Michelle Obama.
Yeah. Bill O'Reilly says the same thing. He says Biden's not the nominee. Bill O'Reilly says the exact same thing.
He thinks it's going to be a Michelle?
Not necessarily Michelle, but he says Gavin Newsom, I think he says. So
yeah,
that's what I've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless Gavin can just so easily take over that infrastructure.
Well, he's been preparing to do it. That's the thing. Like he's been running ads nationwide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I could see Gavin being that and being blessed, but I still kind of think it's Michelle Obama. I say this,
but that's
knowing
the thing. Kamala's power hungry too. Kamala wants it too. So
but
that's
they're not going to allow
layer.
that. They don't want.
She might not care and say I'm running anyway.
Oh, I don't think so. I think she's kind of realized that she's a dunce and she's not cut out for it.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that for 1 second. Or if she does run, it's been approved because there's a tactic there.
Right.
Because RFK or someone's causing some trouble at the DNC convention. Yeah, God, it's going to be...
Carla Nelson says, I wouldn't feel bad about Biden. He made the choice to sell us out for power.
Yeah, for sure.
And I kind of agree in a way. It's just like his entire life and political career was him, not the people.
That guy can fall. All I care. That guy's a piece of shit. Worst president of our lifetime. Unconstitutional. Mandated vaccines. How many people got the vaccine and are harmed because of his mandates? Because they didn't want to lose their job. Because that happened. I know people didn't want to lose their job. They got the vaccine mandate because their federal contractor worked, in the army or whatever, because of that asshole, what he did. So no, that guy gets no sympathy from me. That guy can,
kick rocks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever. And that's probably, that's so controversial to say that about a president. It's like, that guy's not a president. That guy's not running shit.
Yeah, resident.
And it's even questionable that he got elected. The guy ran from his basement and somehow got the most votes in the history of the United States, which is crazy. But more importantly, the guy doesn't care about the Constitution. He's probably a freaking criminal. We'll never get a real investigation in what his
Ukraine
family's
deals, the
done.
China deals, of course.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. Trump gets impeached the first time because of apparent quid pro quo in Ukraine. And what's it over? These shady deals of the Biden criminal family.
Yeah.
His son, who literally gets paid $80,000 a month to be on a board of the oil and gas company in Ukraine and has no experience in the oil and gas industry.
They literally tried to impeach Trump for what Biden did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what Trump allegedly did, right? But because of Joe Biden. Yeah,
Bad Hat Harry says no pleasure in his pain, but no sympathy either. Which that's the right.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Although
right
maybe a little pleasure. Any other comments here before we sign off?
So we have people on different sides, but I do have to read. I just want to read because there was a lot of support for Jesse, but I want to say Aaron Rasmus on YouTube says Jesse, Ron DeSantis was way better than Trump on COVID response. And then he says Jesse is swearing because he's nervous of Ron DeSantis. Just had to throw it out there.
I'm not
All
nervous.
support.
But it's good we have DeSantis because if DeSantis didn't get in, we would have no other credible candidate.
Yeah.
And so, at least we have an interesting primary. And please, God, let them debate. Oh, by the way, apparently Trump is on Fox News tonight. It's being pre-recorded right now.
Oh, yeah.
But Sean Hannity's got him, and it's a town hall. So tune in at 9 or 8. 9. What is Hannity?
I was in Central.
What? Hold on. Did Hannity take over the new slot?
No.
I think he did.
I thought we don't even watch Fox News anymore.
I thought they put Trump's old press secretary, Kayleigh.
No, she's on Fox News, but I don't think she's taken over the spot.
All right, according to AZ Central, Arizona Central, Sean Hannity is hosting a Donald Trump town hall on Fox News. Here's why it's a waste of time. Thanks, News. Fox News is hosting a town hall with Donald Trump on Thursday, moderated by Sean Hannity. Who in the right mind would watch such a thing? Oh, I don't know. A lot of people, and probably more people than read your article. It's scheduled to be shown on Fox News at 6 p.m. June 1st. What a joke. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. on...
You said that's some Arizona publication, right?
Yeah, so does that mean 8 o'clock here? Let's look at Fox News. Let me get past all these pro
Yeah, like a
DeSantis
TV
things.
schedule or something.
I got to get past all the pro DeSantis stuff on Fox News. Let's
Yep.
see.
Carlos
Buried
says,
in
hold
it.
the line, don't watch Fox.
Yep.
Well,
Tucker says, never watching Fox. P. Moore says, agree. Fox sold themselves to Dominion.
Yeah, I haven't really
it's
watched
rather
Fox
interesting.
since Tucker, but I will watch at the town hall.
it's rather interesting. I did find it. I had it's buried. Fox News has buried it. Why don't you just go to foxnews.com, Dawson, Deep State Dawson.
Before we go, I have some comments from Bill Dingsman, or however he says.
Oh,
last name.
well, we always got to read the comments
They're
from
on
Bill
Facebook.
Dingsman. Let me
I
finish
didn't
up
know
this.
this one because they were on Facebook, and we don't have a live on Facebook today. But
We'll finish up with this here, or let me show you this, and then we'll go to that. So you got Fox News handy? Foxnews.com.
What? Fox News.
We're getting to that
That's old.
part of the show where Dawson gets a little anxious because he needs to eat protein. So you got to scroll down. All these pro DeSantis stuff. You got to scroll. Oh,
Actually,
there it
some
is. There it is.
anti-DeSantis one
Right
up
there.
there.
That little thing. Yep. There we go. 8 p.m. Central Time. That's how you can find out. You know, you'd think it'd be a pretty big deal for Fox News that they got Donald Trump, especially after how well CNN did. And there they go. They just hide it right there. I mean, you're so right about that.
That's crazy.
It should be a big story for Fox News. They should be highlighting the advertising.
And
if they
isn't
don't.
this the first time he's been on Fox since his
Yeah.
announcement? Or even
He's
before
been on
then?
phone calls with like
Fox
he's been
affiliates.
on
Like the
with
morning
Sean.
shows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been on with Sean Hannity.
All right, what
quite a
does
bit.
Bill
Yeah.
Dingsman have to say?
he says, I like Jake's idea of sheriffs arresting feds who want to take our guns. That sounds like some hot government on government action. And then he says, who can forget last June when conservative Minnesota Senate candidate Senator Nathan Wiesenberg and Senator Dr. Bill Liskey posted on their social media accounts celebrating June Dairy Month, while Bill Liskey's primary challenger, Rhino Jake Cortez, was celebrating Gay Pride Month on his.
I was thinking about that today. That is so true. Yeah, so happy Dairy Month, everybody. All right, well, we will be back on Tuesday unless we have a special program. No, we don't have a special program. You guys are going to come back tomorrow maybe. Anyhow, we'll be back on Tuesday, 1 o'clock right here. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.